What's that on up yonder? Why, it looks like two hillbillies talking about mini trucks to me. Y'all are fixing to listen to the voice of the lowlife. Gather around and revel in the good word of the Lowest Common Denominator podcast.
So I was at Walmart yesterday.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's always good because all of a sudden everybody has got their stimulus checks. So it's like
God.
It's like a permanent first of the month here. Oh, it's so bad. There's more jogging pants there than the goodies clearance aisle. It is really rough. There's a lot of pairs that say juicy on them and stuff like that.
Disgusting.
So I'm walking through Walmart and I'm trying to buy like normal people things. Yeah. Motor oil, for example.
And toothpaste.
Well, and toothpaste, right. Things
they don't use.
Yeah. Well, I would like to say teeth paste, but compared to many of the people I've seen there, it's probably tooth, as in singular. So anyway, I'm looking for my teeth paste and I'm looking for motor oil. And I see this lady here dropping her mask and just berating a small child. And there's two children. And I hear one child tell the other child, when mommy drops her mask, it means she's getting really pissed. And I thought that says so much about the world right now. When mommy drops her mask, the bullshit stops. Straight from the hills and hollers of eastern Kentucky, we're fresher than a dozen eggs from a one-legged brown hen. We put the cult in mini trucking culture. We are your hashtag voice of the lowlife. I'm LMC. This is my co-host Shay Mullins.
Oh.
And we are bringing you another episode of the Lowest Common Denominator podcast. Now, we are deviating from what makes us us tonight. We're doing something a little bit different. Kinda, but I think it's going to be fun. First of all, there's actually 5 people in studio.
Yeah,
5. Yeah. So we're sitting at a big L-shaped desk. We have cords everywhere. I don't know how bad we're going to echo. So far, so good, I think.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Professional.
But we have a special guest tonight, and then we have a couple of our normal co-hosts. We're being joined tonight, in addition to you and I, by Farva. And Farva is currently muted because he's over there slinging parts, and by Jeremy Dickerson. So
who is also slinging
Who
parts.
is also muted over there and is currently slinging parts. But our guest du jour of today is something a little bit different. It's something I'm really excited about bringing on. I wanted to try something. We've had several requests, if I'm not mistaken, Shay, and I think people request it more for you than I, because you're the educated one and I'm the hillbilly. Well, anyway, there's been a lot of people that ask us to delve more into, I guess, Appalachian culture. You notice I said Appalachian, not Appalachian. It's Atch.
That's right. You tell them.
So I'm delving into Appalachian culture a little bit tonight. And I thought, how can I possibly interface this with what makes us us? How can we do something that appeals to the mini truck crowd, the ADD of the mini truck crowd, like what I have.
They listen to us because we sound like a bunch of hillbillies, so, we kind of already fit in.
Well, right. What my favorite thing to hear is that y'all don't talk like us. And I take a lot of pride in that because, speaking of Appalachian culture, we don't talk like you because
we're hillbillies?
Thanks to geographical isolation in Appalachia, specifically Central Appalachia, the earliest dialects of Scott-Irish is more preserved in Central Appalachia.
That's accurate.
Than anywhere in the world.
That's accurate.
So, we may not talk like you, but you used to talk like us.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
No. In all sincerity. So I've got thinking, how can we delve into Appalachian culture? How can we tie this in and make it something that will be interested in people? So I have this uncle. We've shared several good stories together, and one of the things I've always appreciated about him is that he's an excellent orator. Somebody can naturally...
That's a big word.
An orator? Really?
That's a big word.
I've used bigger. That's 3 syllables.
That's a lot of syllables for a hillbilly.
The first time I ever seen the word orator used was in a description of Henry Clay.
Really?
Henry Clay, the attorney, doing the Great Compromise. He was spoke of as being an excellent orator. And that always really impressed me, and I always spent a lot of time reading a lot of his legal writs. And it's just very impressive, the vernacular they use. There's another one, vernacular. The vernacular they use at that time period.
You're just full of it tonight, aren't you?
Caffeine. I've had 3 Venoms.
Nice.
It's my synapses are firing.
How are you alive?
I don't know, but my kidneys hate me every single day of my life. But in all sincerity, that type of history is very, very interesting to me. And I've got this uncle, and I'm getting ready to introduce him because he's here with us tonight. And I feel that he is an excellent orator in the mold of a Henry Clay. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce him, and then we will explain how we're kind of going to tie this in. But my Uncle Doug Adams has joined us tonight. And Uncle Doug, thank you for joining us. Hi, Uncle Doug.
You're most welcome.
So my Uncle Doug, and everybody's sitting there at home thinking, oh, great, he bought a family member on. Well, this one's a cool one. I'm gonna bring my dad on here, too, at some point. But, damn it, we got cool stories, okay? So my Uncle Doug is 87 years old, and Uncle Doug is the oldest living in-class educator in the state of Kentucky. You know, Andy Strigenis listens to us. Andy Strigenis is also an educator, and he will really appreciate
He really
this.
likes Christmas tree cakes.
Christmas tree cakes, really?
Loves them a lot.
Yeah. You know, Andy's going to join us in person, by the way, very soon. I spoke to him yesterday, and he already told me, so he's bought and paid for it at this point. we got him dead to rights in writing. But anyway, my Uncle Doug is 87 years old, and I'm not harping on the age because of that number, but because of the fact that he has lived a very, I'm going to say, interesting life, as only an 87-year-old artist could possibly live. The reason I wanted to bring him on here is because the one-legged chicken, Bess, that is a creation of his. The original drawing for Bess, the one-legged brown hen, come from Uncle Doug. We're going to get back to that, but let me sing a little accolades here. Doug is a current in-classroom educator at Letcher County Central High School. I'm saying that correctly, aren't I? Okay. Now, for 20 years, almost 20 years, you were a professor at Morehead State University in the art program, right? Mm-hmm. So, showing my ignorance here, the college level that you taught at, I mean, what was that in comparison to the high school level you teach now? Because you've done both for quite a bit of time. I mean,
I use nude models.
This is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. Oh my God, this is going to be great.
Well, that's definitely that's a Jeffrey Dillard moment there. It's rare that I get taken off my game, but that's yes. The difference between college and high school is I use nude models. Awesome. Okay. Well,
my next question would be like,
holy shit! I mean, no.
Come on,
where do we go from there? Okay, cool.
Anyways, so if you was going to rate with how the amount of your class that's stoned, was there more stoned kids in college or in high school?
You know, I really am not aware in my classes of ever having a kid that was stoned.
Really?
Really?
No. Now in college I did.
Oh, I imagine so.
Oh, that was back in the 70s.
Well, I think everybody was stoned in the 70s, though. I mean, like,
put a joint out as they came in the building.
Well, let's go ahead and say that most good music comes from drugs. And drugs, it's true.
I would agree with that.
It's really.
Well, art and music is similar in the sense that it's a mental process.
Absolutely.
Art is a mental process. You develop certain skills that you deal with. You can draw, and you know color, and you know how to paint, or you know how to weld, or whatever media you're working in. But art and music are very similar because it's an inner feeling that you get.
And the inner feeling's unlocked by acid.
And you know, not that I've never smoked a joint in my life.
Really?
I've never smoked pot. I've never taken a drug in my life unless it's prescribed to me. But
I can't say that.
Back in the 70s, gosh, I'd have to send those kids home sometimes, some of them.
No kidding.
Really?
They'd be so stoned.
I thought they would make them better at art.
Wrong kind of drugs.
Oh, that's what it is. Wrong kind of drugs.
You smoking weed, you're just drawing stick figures and eating Cheetos, man.
It's accurate, too.
Morehead, Kentucky wasn't known for its opium consumption back then.
Oh, okay. Right.
Wow, I love, you're doing my work for me here because of what you just said, the inner feeling. That's something that appeals to my crowd. We spend so much time standing in a garage looking at a vehicle. And I know this sounds dumb, but you as an artist will probably appreciate this.
It's like staring at your blank canvas.
We wait for it to speak to us. We literally look and look and look until something clicks. And all of a sudden, we're like, I see a cut I can make here, or I see a line that I can paint here to bring out this angle, to bring, this to light, this something I want to showcase. And I guess the expression medium doesn't really matter. It's the expression itself that matters. You're actually expressing your feelings on as you said, Shay, a blank canvas, whether that's literally canvas material or a vehicle, or I was in your shop the other day, and you do a lot of metal sculpting now. And it's funny, growing up, I always watched you do your landscapes. And that's something I'm a huge fan of the landscapes you used to do. And I don't even know that that's the right term.
What's a landscape?
Well, I don't know. Is landscape the right term when you're doing like buildings and cabins and stuff like that?
Yeah, just outdoors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you always did a lot of that. I remember, for example, James Steele's cabin, and I realize a lot of listeners won't know who James Steele is, and please correct me if I misspeak this. But James Steele was a very known author in Eastern Kentucky from Knott County. Was it Knott County?
He was really from Mississippi.
Really, I didn't realize that.
I don't know
actually
exactly how he ended up in Knott County.
Sure,
but
that's random.
He wrote a wonderful book entitled "River of Earth."
Okay,
it was about the outward migration.
Okay,
of workers in Appalachia.
Yep.
Headed north to the automobile factories.
And it's still going on to this day.
And,
last year we lost 5%.
And it was that was one of his best books that I think he ever wrote.
Actually, I've never read that, but I'm going to look it up.
Jesse Stewart, I did a series of paintings based on his book, Kentucky is My Land.
Really?
And so I got to visit with him a lot, he and his wife, and I enjoyed that very much.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that, actually.
I did a lot of book covers and paintings based on that book.
Really? That's actually really, I didn't even know that. That's pretty rad. And that's one of the reasons I was excited to get a chance to speak to you about this. And again, I'm 40, and in my whole life, you've been one of the few relatives that I really give a shit about, to be quite blunt. My family sucks. I've got like 3 of them I like, and that's it. You told me.
Believe me.
The truth is the truth, guys. But in all sincerity, it's someone I've always really looked up to, and over the years, I've seen you go through different mediums. Again, we're doing the landscapes at first, and that's what, as a little boy, I remember your studio in your cabin, and just being just amazed at seeing the half-done works and things, and all your supplies. And I used to sneak in there all the time and just look at all your stuff, and it was the coolest thing in the world to me. And you had some really inspirational views there. I remember you could overlook your pond there, and it was just a great place to I guess, get inspired. But then you went into metal sculpting. And again, that's something, I remember selling you an arc welder many years ago at this point, 10, 12, 15 years ago. I don't even know. It was I think a Hobart Stickmate, if I'm not mistaken. But I remember selling you that, and then all of a sudden, you MIG, you TIG, you have a plasma cutter, you have better tools than I do.
Plasma cutter?
Yeah. You got a hypertherm, don't you? You've got a plasma cutter, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Plasma.
I was thinking you did. And what made you go into metal? Well, because to me, I'm dumb. That seems like such a differentiation between a landscape to a 3D visage of something.
I've always dabbled in metal too, even when
okay.
I was painting landscapes. As
I got you. Right.
To. Simply because the thing about sculpture is that it's a 3D thing.
Okay.
And you're looking at space and objects that occupy space.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a painting, you're creating the illusion of space.
Mm-hmm. That is a cool way to look at that. I didn't really think of it.
So in a way, it's two sides to the same coin. Just one is more tangible. You can actually touch all 3 dimensions, and the other you can just see and imagine.
And sculpture helps you feel 3D things. I
Okay.
mean, it makes you want to touch them.
Right, absolutely.
And that's what sculpture is all about, other than if you get into some of Calder's things up on the Chicago shoreline up there. Big sculptures of steel.
Yeah.
Mobiles, staymobiles, wonderful things.
Very cool.
I remember years ago, I was in Chicago, and I walked into the museum there, the art museum. When I went in the front door, I just looked around. I'd never seen the inside of a big museum until that day. And you went in a room that was large, and beginning where they had all kinds of things on the walls and posters and so forth, directing what was in there and so forth, telling you a little about the museum. Then I went to this double doors. I say double doors, it would have been as wide or wider than this room.
Jesus.
An opening into this huge gallery space. And they had one of the Impressionist painters, the Lily Pond, back there.
Is that a Monet or what is that?
It's a Monet.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
there's two of those guys, Monet, Manet. Manet was the visual guy in the sense that he had this concept that he would just put colored spots side by side and the eye would mix it. He called it retinal mixing.
Wow. Okay.
And it was always, I never did like those too much. They were kind of stiff
Okay.
and unmoving, whereas Monet, of course, was
A lot of depth.
real painter, and the use of color and so forth. But anyway, I looked back there and saw that painting, and it was about 40 feet long.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it covered a whole end of that museum back there. And I'd only seen it in books before, and what the size they would be if you
Sure.
looked at a textbook and saw that painting.
Wow.
But art has a rich history to it. I'm doing encaustic work right now,
What's encaustic?
painting with wax. And it goes back to the 5th century BC.
So is this like a fresco type thing?
I use canvases
Okay.
and hardboard, and
Do you just pour it on?
you can pour it on, or you can take a heat gun and you can use these big giant crayons and melt them down with that heat gun.
I have seen it actually.
Or you take an attractive model and you roll her in it. That's hey.
Oh, hot wax.
Guess
huh?
who forgot to turn off his phone? Good job, Lee Michael.
Good job.
Yeah.
He could just drip the wax on them too.
Well, so that goes back to the nude model in college.
But getting
So-
back to the space we was talking about,
Yeah.
three-dimensional stuff helps you in the depiction of a two-dimensional surface that you make look three-dimensional.
Interesting.
Your concept of form and shape is heightened by that experience of sculpture.
So which is more gratifying to you? I mean, like creating a three-dimensional sculpture that you can touch all the sides, or a painting that makes you see things in 3D when it's not really there?
Well, painting really is more satisfying
Okay.
because it doesn't require the same kind of facility to
Sure,
to
yeah.
do the work in.
Well, you literally have a
And,
converted welding shop as your studio now.
And the reason I started doing sculpture, when I was 12 years old, I ordered a welder out of the grit paper.
What's that?
I believe I paid $1.75 for it.
Dude, you're kidding me.
Really?
No, this is a true story.
Okay, I've
And
never heard this one.
When I got the welder, of course, it came in with a head, the cat head, just like
Yeah.
any welder would have.
Yeah,
And on the end of the wires of the cat head, it had two metal clips
for a battery.
for salt water. You had to plug it in. It was 110, but you had to plug it in order to weld with it.
What?
And I remember I got that thing, and they sent me these glasses that are really dark. And I couldn't see very well through those glasses.
Are you listening to this, Jeremy?
I'm listening to this.
I thought
And
you.
I couldn't see very well.
It's going.
So I was trying to weld. I was striking arcs here and there and up and down. Look, and I'd pull my glasses up, and I'd have to hook for them to see where I touched the metal. And
love
so I
it.
just threw those away. I just laid them aside, and I welded all day on my bicycle.
Oh no.
I burnt both fenders off and one rim, and set a tire on fire.
And I've got a sneaky feeling your eyes were so flash burned the
I'll
next
tell you
day.
what, that evening,
Oh my goodness.
time dark came, my eyes were hurting me so bad that I could barely stand it. But then I realized I'd done something bad wrong, and I was afraid to tell Dad.
Oh my
Mom
God.
what I'd done. And I told them I got salt water in them. We had to take a crock and fill it with salt water and put those 2 diodes down in there to get a current across it to weld with.
That is wild to me. I can't imagine.
And they sent me these little welding rods, and I finally got so I could weld a little bit.
That is awesome. If you can weld with a setup like that, I think you can weld with anything.
Yeah, I mean, like.
But it was.
Now a MIG welder must be like the fanciest thing on earth compared to that.
Well, I'd say it is amazing because you have a TIG, don't you? Or do you use when you do stainless?
I'd like to take a class in TIG weld. I've done some TIG work, but it's been a long time, and I'm sure the equipment I used was not
the fella sitting
standard.
The fella sitting to your left is an excellent TIG welder. So you guys definitely have to talk a little shop about that. He does an excellent job.
I'd like for you to help me some with my welding aluminum sometime.
I would love to.
I really would.
So I'm gonna tell an Uncle Doug story, and I'm not trying to downplay anything because he's already kind of blown me away with the perspectives he gave in the new modeling. Right, the saltwater welding and the new modeling is pretty hard to get around. But my mom is a very, very sheltered lady, and I don't say that disrespectfully. She's just sees no bad in anyone, and she's very. I want to say she's meek because she's a redhead, so she gets kind of evil sometimes. But country, and again, and I say that with all the possibility of how much I love her is ridiculous. But she's country, she's very sheltered. So Uncle Doug used to draw nude women in the dirt on spare tire carriers in random vehicles in parking lots. I've never seen this. This is a story my mom always tells me. But she's like, Lee Michael, your Uncle Doug, he drew a naked lady in that old tire back there, and he just walked off. Do you remember this? Is this something?
I sold the tire for $5.
Oh, my God.
You say that.
That's great.
You've done several things for me personally, and I can't even begin to thank you, especially here recently. I lost my pup that so I talk about him often, and I like him a lot better than 90% of the people I've ever known. But I lost him recently, and you did a portrait of him. And hell, I can't even tell the story without crying. But you did a portrait of him, and I seen it. It was him. It was perfect, and I cried, and everybody around me cried. It was a big mess. But before you did Graf, I come to you several months ago, beginning of this past year actually, and said, I'm going to do a podcast, and I need a logo, and I want you to design me a really, really rough-looking one-legged chicken. So, is that the strangest request you've ever got? Because you were...
I get things that I turn down.
Okay.
Wow, you're one-legged chicken you can turn down.
So you've got stranger than a one-legged chicken that's lived a really rough.
One now.
Thank
That's
you.
Pretty, you don't run into those real often.
Well, you laughed at me when I asked you that, but then you put a lot of thought into her. I mean, she has the eye patch and everything, and that's something that I hadn't even thought of. So I mean, you put some serious.
Well, you don't just have a blank eye socket?
I don't know. I just said, hey, Uncle Doug, dude, I can't draw.
This is why he's not an artist.
She lost an eye at the same time she lost a leg.
I got you. I figured it was rough times.
Man, the bars back then used to be really rough.
Yeah.
But, you put so much more thought into that than I could have ever even had. If that is not the strangest request, what is? What are some of the strangest requests you've ever got?
Oh, I get a lot of requests, for doing drawings and portraits of people.
Which is kind of boring,
I
guess.
To do.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of requests that are sexual.
Mm-hmm. No, we're not interested in that. We're talking about your art.
We'll get to how I modify. I'm a realist under some conditions. I can be swayed. I can change my politics.
Oh my God!
When you say, in all sincerity, being serious, when you say a sexual request, are you talking like somebody actually asked you to do a drawing of like your significant other or something?
Yeah, or maybe their wife. And another woman. Or
okay, I got you.
This
then.
kind of thing.
Yeah, that seems that seems a little lowbrow for lack of a better term. So
I don't know that there's a lot of famous paintings
of naked women. If I can get to do it the way I want to do it, I like to do that. But I don't most of the people that want that, they want stark realism. It's almost like porno.
There's no
right.
abstract.
And
that's-
I don't like that. I
You
won't
know-
do those.
Let's think about an artist. It's your vision is what they're paying for.
And if I can work with that, I wish I'd have brought my iPad. I'd show you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. But she's closed.
Right, yeah, sure.
But,
Travesty.
But it's the figure. If you can do an expressive likeness, and you establish a mental aura about the painting that you're doing, simply because you try to put yourself in the position of that model,
Okay.
what she's thinking and doing and why she's doing this and so forth. So you think about love and loss. You know, you think about women who are divorced, or they've broken up, they've lost their lovers or their husbands or what have you. And there's a mental component there that I like. In dealing with those people, if I can start imagining what their thought processes are.
So you're saying to express their emotions
Exactly,
in the
of
picture.
what they are thinking and why they're thinking it. And I got a lot of paintings upstairs that Lois bought from me, and all over the walls up there.
Oh yeah,
But,
absolutely.
I love figure work. I love to draw people because I guess it's just like playing golf. You always play with your friends. You know?
Sure, yeah.
And when you draw people that I'll be doing a drawing sometimes, have nobody in mind, and all at once I can name that person.
You have a painting that's, I know, one of my dad's favorite, and I'm blanking on the actual name, but it's the moonshine steel painting that he has in his office. And I asked you once about the gentleman in it, because there's a guy that, for the world, he looks like he's on an African safari. It looks like he has a monocle and a pith helmet. And I know that's not quite what he has, but you knew exactly who I was talking about when I mentioned it to you before. And I know that was one of those creations you said that
Mr.
when you
Peanut?
got... No. When you got into it, you really started recognizing, and he kind of developed a character as you proceeded in the work.
Yeah, and I used him because he helped me run a 5-gallon of moonshine off one time.
Nice.
Really?
Nice.
That
I
was the
didn't-
only time in my life a judge gave me a 25-gallon steel.
I didn't know you ever made it. Okay.
And,
Like a judge?
And we ran off one batch of moonshine.
Like a real judge? Like
oh,
a
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Court judge.
Well, time out. So this guy in the painting was actually a judge?
No, he was not the judge.
He was just the guy that
He
helped.
was the guy that helped me run the moonshine off.
That's
so
cool.
So you're a bootlegger.
I was a drinker.
Oh, okay.
That's when I called AA right after that. They said,
Well, you drank 25 gallons of
and I said,
moonshine?
I've still got that steel.
No kidding,
Yeah,
really?
it's a copper steel. It was nice.
Oh my God! Well, at this point,
And
how
the
old is
story of
it?
that was how the judge got it through the court. They busted this couple with it over in Elliott County, and they were cooking on the stove. That's why they used that small 25-gallon, but about like a 5-gallon crock.
Right? Yeah, I got you.
And so that's how they got the steel. They raided that trailer they were in and took all their equipment.
Wow.
Now when I raid a trailer, they take
It's
meth.
meth. Yeah, I was thinking. Yep, exactly.
Things were
It's-
so much more elegant when it was just moonshine, you know?
Well, doesn't it though? You know, you can almost romanticize the moonshine culture. And again, I don't drink, and that's something I'm very adamant about. I'm actually very
Yeah,
anti-alcohol.
but there's like there's a culture with the moonshine that is so much better than meth.
It's our history.
Yeah.
It's literally a huge part of our history. I mean, it was a trade commodity, you know, especially
was.
and during Prohibition and stuff, you know.
It was.
Well, that's why we raised corn.
I believe it.
I can
Most
believe
of
it.
it went to whiskey.
I definitely.
I believe it.
You had a mule or two, you fed, but
Corn whiskey.
corn whiskey.
That's
it's
funny.
it's worth a lot more than corn is.
So
Just
when
be honest.
Dad used to make his, I didn't realize that you actually had ever been around that. That's funny. That's news to me. Dad is licensed to do it, and he doesn't do it anymore. But there for a long time, he was doing the demonstration down here at the Mountain Heritage Festival.
I asked him the other day if he was doing any more moonshine.
The problem was with that is that every skidder jiggy around here would come up and ask for a free sample. They didn't have any interest in the process. They didn't have any interest in the science, and that's something that he really took to a different level.
I bet I ruined it for him, didn't it?
Oh, you got all these just toothless mouth breathers that come out and say, "Hey, Bubby, can I get me a sample of that?" And just, they come up with stupid cups and stuff and ask for some. And what really, really got to him is some of his hired help would be drinking what's called still beer. Is that a term you're familiar with, Doug?
Ain't that the runoff?
No, it's not the runoff.
It's before.
Absolutely. It's the actual mash. It's the fermented mash.
It's a white liquid.
Yep. They would literally, the mash, when it ferments, will develop kind of a cap to it.
Yeah.
And these cats would literally, one of his hired help would take a tin cup and just dunk it right down in there because fermented anything has an alcohol content. They called it still beer. Now, the runoffs, as you say, that's called the fusel oils. Yeah. That is and that's undrinkable.
Yeah, that's what's like poison.
Right, pretty much. And then, of course, the end of it, you got your back ends, and at that point, it's lost a lot of its alcohol content. And that's just what you put back into the doubler to get blah, 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 blah. I'll spray y'all.
So they would drink the fermented corn?
Yeah, man. They call it still beer.
All right, excuse my language, that's fucking nasty.
When you can go to a distillery.
Yeah.
And when you look at all these glass pipes in there, and they're white, just like it's a white foam.
Huh.
They're brewing right then, and you can drink that beer. That's why they call it.
I bet it
beer.
tastes terrible, doesn't it?
No, it's good.
No
what?
way.
Really? I had a.
I didn't realize you've ever tried.
Buddy that ran Jim. He was vice president of Jim Beam Distilleries in Bardstown.
No kidding.
And I'd stop every time I was going up through there.
Yeah.
I'd stop, go and see him, and we were sitting there one day. Not as I guess my first time maybe to ever be there when they were distilling in the room they were distilling in.
Sure.
And I looked at those glass pipes because they can watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can, instead of having to go to the spout somewhere and look at it, they can see it all the time. And I said, Don, what is all this white stuff you got going through those pipes? He said, that's beer. And I said, beer? He said, yeah, let's get us a drink of it, and I'll show you. And he poured us a couple of glasses out of a spigot they had there.
Wow.
And I sang "Going Home to Mama" all the way from Bardstown back to Whitesburg.
So how's the alcohol content on that? Is it?
It's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So it's worth a glass.
Oh my
or two.
God. That's funny, guys.
That's all you need is a glass.
Apparently so.
Yeah, I'd say so. That's what really did Dad in though. Is people his hired help was doing that when they were supposed to be helping him. They're sitting over there getting just sloshed, and then everybody just come up and they didn't want to talk about the history or the science. And he really got into the history. I begged him to teach a class on it, but he never would.
Well, I count this one of Mike Caudle's random.
Mike
hobbies.
Caudle's random hobbies.
Yeah, it's really one of them.
That's the one between mushrooms and beekeeping. I think.
Is he
I may have
beekeeping now?
I don't know. I killed them all.
I wanted to get a glass.
He doesn't listen, so it's cool. But they stung my German Shepherd, and I might have soaked him in gasoline.
Oh my God!
I don't think he's ever going to have bees again. Not in that hive, anyway. But
Oh my God!
but we won't talk
Only
about
Michael
that.
just lost the farm.
Yep, I just got rode out of the wheel. I'm afraid.
Oh my
so.
God, that's great.
Oh my God.
Did he do like sorghum at one point too?
Sorghum, yeah, he still does a little. Well, he grows sugar cane, but nothing ever comes of it.
I remember your dad told me he was growing sugar cane. I just looked at him like, you're growing sugar cane?
It usually just kind of.
He just one of those things.
It's just he'll get into something else. So anyway, you we're going back to the age thing here. You're 87, and I know that you spent a lot of your life away from here. Having traveled the way you have and lived all over the country, you have an appreciation, of course, for the culture here.
And it's better here.
Yeah, I mean, do you?
This is home to me.
That's going to say, do you feel better? I mean, do you feel more at ease here than anywhere you've been?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you then. Now, you still maintain a farm, though, in Morehead, right?
Yes.
I was thinking you
Yes.
did. Or I guess technically Elliotsville, is that right?
Elliotsville.
Always get those areas mixed up. We've got a lot of listeners in the Morehead area. But
That's all Morehead to me.
It's all Morehead
It's
to
all
me.
Morehead.
From Salt Lick to Grace or to Olive Hill is Morehead
It's
to me.
Morehead.
So
Get Olive Hill, and they have Olive Hill sign up. That's Morehead.
that's the end of Does it even matter? Does Olive Hill matter now that the truck stop that was on diners, drive-ins, and dives closed? Does anybody even care about Olive Hill anymore?
Did it close?
Like 10 years ago, dude.
I did not know that. I haven't been to Olive Hill.
It closed.
In God knows.
You ain't
how long.
missing nothing. It closed in like 2010, and then became a church for like a year or two. Then
That's a travesty.
They just tore it down this past
How
year.
wasn't that place not making a fortune then?
Did you see it on the show? How
No.
nasty it looked, and the
No.
lady died. The lady that actually
Oh,
there was a truck stop in Olive Hill. What's the name of it? Smoky Valley truck stop.
I've been there.
Really? You actually ate there?
No.
Okay,
You
but
wouldn't
I-
eat there,
I-
right?
I gassed up there.
I got you. That was on the TV show, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, where they go to all sorts of little backwoods restaurants. Guy Fieri?
Fieri?
Fieri. I can't
I know
pronounce
the guy
his
with
name.
the spiked blonde hair and
On the
Oh,
Food
yeah.
Network, yeah.
but you know.
Well, he checked it out, and I'd never seen that episode just the other night, but it was almost 10 years ago. And
How gross was it?
oh Jesus, wood paneling on the walls, like grease stains in the booths. It looked pretty rough. but anyway, yeah, that's
Did he like it?
loved it. But I've never seen him not like anything.
It's fair.
Yeah,
fair.
Well, I
It's
never
real.
would eat there.
yeah, totally understand. So.
Yeah.
But like I said, you have
Salmonella's real.
that appreciation because this is home to you. And I know you're kind of like me as far as being a historian in this area. Are there any stories that stick out in this area that I don't know, you could say that you're proud of or that you have some sort of vested interest in?
Or they're just hilarious.
Yeah, or just tell us the cool story.
Well, yeah, I got a couple that I can share with you. One deals with Van Buren Bates. I was working with Butch Chaltis.
Yeah,
who does
General
the
Lee.
enactments.
Uh-huh.
And I got on the computer and looked up a paper in St. Louis called St. Louis Leader or
Okay.
Herald or something. And I got this story of Martin Van Buren Bates from there. They had it, the giant of Letcher County, which I thought was the biggest man that ever lived in the eastern part of the state. But I got a picture the other day of a guy that's 9 feet tall that they found his skeleton in Clay County.
What?
What?
No.
He was 9 foot tall.
You're kidding me.
And but anyway, getting back to Mr. Bates, the story in that from St. Louis was that, of course, he was a captain in the Confederate Army.
Yeah.
And toward the end of the war, he was in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And some Yankee sympathizers caught his brother out and tortured him and killed him. So when he got the news that his brother had been killed, he sent word by courier back over towards your area over there,
Floyd.
that he said, I know who you guys are,
Ooh.
and said you can't run and you can't hide. Said, I'm coming for you, and said, I'm going to hang you. So he came up and he caught those guys, and he took them over at Flat Gap,
I know where Flat Gap is. It's torn down towards Painesville.
right there, going into Virginia. It's right there on the Virginia line.
My neck of the woods.
And he found there was a big log there. He found that log. And before he hanged the guys, he sent word to all their families.
Oh,
He
God.
said, now I'm inviting you to the hanging.
Oh, my God.
And he said, and I would advise you to come. Because if you don't, I'll come back to Kentucky and I'll bring my men up here and I'll burn your houses, your barns, I'll kill your cattle, and I may just kill you too.
Oh, my God.
And
Wow.
so he took those guys and they fixed the log across above the pole above the big log.
gallows and stuff, yeah.
Stood them on there, and he hanged them.
All by himself?
So, no, he had some men.
Oh,
with
I'm about
him.
to say, wow.
He had some troops with him. But anyway, when it was all over, he said, now, one other thing I want to leave with you, since we're all such close friends now, is that I may be going back to Virginia. I don't know how long I'll be gone. It may be 3 months. It may be a year. I don't know. The war's almost over. But when I come back through here, if those skeletons are not hanging where I left them, right here, the
Oh, my
5
God.
of them, I will burn your houses, and I will kill half of your families and all your livestock.
Holy God, this
And
guy's crazy.
and that's why when the war ended, he knew that somebody would kill him from ambush.
Yeah.
They'd ambush him because they couldn't do anything with him. Otherwise, he was held 8 foot tall, riding on an 18-hand Persian horse he took from a
Sure.
farmer up in the east over there in Massachusetts when the war first started.
Like a Clydesdale?
And the Yankees would say, no, it was a running horse.
Oh, Jesus, really?
That's what.
It's
And
that
the
big?
Yankees would say that when he would come across the battlefield on that horse, and he had 2 pearl handle pistols, handmade,
Oh, wow.
that were 70 caliber.
70. Wow.
That's a-
70 caliber. That's like shooting a bazooka.
I was going to say, they've not used anything that big since like Revolutionary War, like
yeah,
the
that's
Brown
a-
Bass
But,
musket.
Yeah, that was a 50 caliber.
and they said when he came across the battlefield, he looked like 50 men and fought like 200.
That's pretty awesome. I know a little trivia about him, actually. He had a wife that
Oh,
was
yeah.
taller than him.
I was getting to
Oh,
that
I'm sorry.
story.
Forgive me.
So when he figured out that they would kill him after the war, he left Kentucky.
Uh-huh.
As he went through Cincinnati, Barnum and Bailey Circus was in
Yeah.
town. So he went to the circus, and they hired him right then because of his size. Well, Bad John Wright was with him, and he was a trick shooter from horseback. Bad John was. So then in the circus, they traveled all the way into Europe a lot. But anyway, he met Anne Swan in Nova Scotia.
That was his wife? I didn't know her
That was
name.
his wife. And she was taller than he was. He was really about an inch shy of 8 feet, and she was 8 feet.
Jesus.
And their first baby at birth weighed 28 pounds.
Oh, my God.
Jesus, man. Wow.
And anyway, they were in England when they got married, and Queen Victoria married them in her palace.
Wow.
That's
That's
how
amazing.
popular they were as circus
Oh, my God.
performers.
That's amazing.
And
8 foot tall.
she gave him 2 watches that were as big as saucers, gold watches, handmade at that time.
That's an unreal,
Wow.
man.
He's
It's
from Letcher
unreal.
County?
Yes. Yes.
Where did his bloodline end?
Now, the baby didn't live, did it?
No.
I was thinking,
No.
I'd read that at some point. The baby
Their
didn't
second
live.
child lived a little bit,
Oh.
a short time, I think, but it was something like, it was smaller. It was something like 17 or 18.
Oh, yeah.
pounds.
Little
Yeah,
itty bitty.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
premium,
Yeah.
man.
But he
Wow.
built a house up in Ohio there. I'll think of the name of the little town up there. It pleases me sometimes. But anyway, he built a house and the ceilings were 14 foot tall.
Jesus.
The doorways were like 12, 15
Oh,
foot
my
tall.
God.
They couldn't walk through any of these doors,
Wow.
That's wild. That's absolutely wild.
And I did a drawing of them for Butch Charlton and some work he was doing, a book he was writing.
So he actually wrote a book about him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where that was on the cover of the book.
Sure. Oh, wow. So you illustrated the cover?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. Wow.
And that was interesting to learn about Mr. Bates.
No, that's something I remember.
I didn't know any of this.
And then Bad John Wright was kind of just an outlaw around here, but he's actually buried in Pound, Virginia, just
he-
right across the state line.
Was he the guy that robbed banks?
No.
Okay.
No, he was a U.S. Marshal.
Oh,
he's
okay,
like
I know what
Matt
I'm talking-
Dillon.
But if I'm not
He's the Matt
mistaken,
Dillon of Letcher County.
he was a U.S. Marshal, but he was a little bit on the dirty side, wasn't
Well,
he?
he just, when he went after you, he got you.
And of course, if I'm not mistaken, that's some distant kin to us, isn't it? Isn't
Oh, yeah. He's
through the
I'm
Wrights
related
there?
to him, yeah.
Okay.
He's my grandmother,
What?
Holly Wright.
Okay. Yeah. That is.
And Andy Wright.
Yeah.
That was his
That is actually pretty
in
cool.
that family to some extent. I don't know exactly how close.
That's pretty wild, actually. I didn't realize that. Pretty wild.
But
So.
Martin Van Buren. And the other story I was going to tell you,
Oh, yeah.
you might use it sometimes, about Fess Whitaker.
Okay.
Is during the Spanish-American War.
Now help me
They
out
were-
here. I'm a little confused. Who was Fess Whitaker?
He was just a
Local?
guy from Letcher County.
Okay, great.
Lived on Line 4.
Awesome.
Really. And anyway, he was in that conflict.
Okay.
The Spanish-American War there
Wow.
in Cuba. And he would tell the story. He said they launched their attack, and when they got to the top of San Juan Hill, they knew they had the enemy defeated, and said, my commanding officer looked over at me. He said, Fess, after the job we've done here today, one of us should be president. And he thought for a minute, he said, well, Teddy Roosevelt, he said, Teddy, I'll tell you what, you take that job, because all I've ever wanted to be is jailer of Letcher County. And he was drunk in jail the day of the election. And when the end of the day, when they counted the votes and he had won, he told him to bring him the key, and he let himself out of jail.
Oh, shoot, that's great. Man, oh, man. The depth of just, like I said, that type of culture, I love those kind of stories, man. You can't get enough of them. You know, we've taken up so much of your time tonight. I can't begin to thank you
taken
enough.
Up all your guys'
No,
time.
sir.
Oh,
No, sir.
I've had a good time.
If I've enjoyed the hell out of it. And maybe you want to join us again someday.
Oh, I would. I'd be glad to.
Dude, I'd love to have you. We're going to go ahead and sign off with that aspect of it. You know, Doug Adams, a renowned artist, 87-year-old, the oldest living in-class educator in Kentucky. A lot of you guys may want to look up some of his work. If you have any more questions about his work, that's something I'm kind of an aficionado of, and I would love to answer them. Thank you for sharing some time with us tonight. We really appreciate it.
It's been my pleasure meeting you guys and talking with you. It's been fun. I love to talk about Letcher County and some of the
So this fat stripper, did she climb the pole?
She did climb the pole.
Holy fuck.
She
that's
wasn't as
impressive.
agile as the skinny strippers, but God love it, she tried.
Did you give her money for the God love it she tried part?
I think I gave her like $16. I wonder if I made it rain with like $16.
Is this related to the off-air story, I believe?
Yes.
Kinda, sorta.
Okay. Yeah, we had a little bit of a delay there from the time Uncle Doug left to now.
Are fat strippers a thing anywhere else, though?
I don't know, but she
Dude,
she
I
had the
appreciate
heart.
a chubby girl. I'm
No,
chubby
we're
girl.
not saying chubby. We're saying fat.
She was somewhere in between me and
Shay.
Shay.
Yeah, so I'm 310 pounds.
I'm 210.
So that's a large.
I want to say
that's
she
lot
was a
of woman.
solid 250.
That's a lot of woman.
It was.
That's not chubby, man.
But she wouldn't get full nude either, though.
What?
Like all the other strippers was like completely naked. She wouldn't do it.
What?
I don't understand why.
No nips?
No.
What the fuck? You gave her $16?
I feel bad for her. Like, there was no, like, everybody left the front stage. There was nobody up there, and she was trying.
Would you go back?
No. If I tell you there's a place that's bad, it's probably pretty fucking bad. I'm just saying.
Wow.
I've lived in sketchy establishments my entire adult life, and I've been fine with them up until this one.
Desperate times calls for desperate measures.
Well, the bad part is, come New Year's, every bar was shut down. It's like, man, what are we going to do? We can go back to your house, or we can go to the Emerald Club. Man, let's just go back to your house.
I think Emerald Club is the most generic name for a strip club. I've
It
ever
really
heard in my
is,
entire
isn't
life.
Let me paint a picture. Let me paint a picture for you. Pull in the parking lot.
Yeah.
It's a gravel parking lot.
Oh, that means you should not. Fucking
Pretty
went
sure
in
it was
there.
painted like in the 80s, and they've never done any maintenance to it.
Holy shit! They have holes in the walls.
You go through the front door.
Yeah.
They have to buzz you through the second door.
Bad.
The
So
bouncers, you
fucking
know,
bad.
every strip club I've ever been to, you know, the bouncers, they wear pretty nice clothes for the most part. These were skitter jiggies. Or hybrids.
It's hard to say which one, huh?
Well, okay, let me paint the picture for you and you tell me.
Okay.
Probably someone about mine and your size, maybe a little bigger,
Yeah.
hanging out of the bottom of a white t-shirt, blue jeans, and boots.
So.
What
wow.
kind of boots?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. We talking?
Not Baramas, but Like the little short, like light tan brown boots with the laces.
Kinda like
really
work
white,
boots.
Yeah, like white trash boots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are. Someone fill me in.
Yeah, you don't know what work boots. You don't. You've
I don't
not
do that
done
kind of stuff.
No, you're an office
Let's
worker.
just go be honest. I don't do that kind of stuff.
We're talking man
Shit
man
you
boots.
buy at
Oh.
Walmart.
man boots.
Wolverines? Isn't that what they sell?
Brahmas.
No, Wolverines are actually good.
Was it-
Brahmas, is that the Walmart brand?
Yeah, dude. I actually
Yeah,
like
I
the
think
Brahma
so.
slip-ons. I ain't gonna lie.
I had a pair of Brahmas steel-toed, and like I swear they were size 14, and I think the steel toe in it was size 10 and a half because it curled into both my big toe and my little toe.
that
Anytime
comfortable as fuck,
anything would
though?
touch me, it was like a medieval torture device. It was terrible. But they were like $14 on clearance sale. I thought I was so.
You see why they was unclear.
I do. Yeah.
Never buying a pair of those again.
No, they were pretty rough. I got Red Wings that I love, but I save them for dressy occasions, and I don't know why because they're just Red Wings. But it makes me feel like I don't know, classy when I wear my Red Wings out.
I don't know. I do like Doc Martens though. That's a
I
nice
I started to
classy
say I have a pair of Doc Martens
Yeah.
I got a pair
that
of-
nobody never sees me in because I wear shorts, and I just don't think that shorts and boots go together.
No.
Gotcha.
Comes to classy occasions, I have a pair of Birkenstocks.
I don't even know what the hell that is.
Birkenstocks, like the boat shoes? No, the Sperry's.
Too rich for our
Birkenstocks is
blood.
like-
No, he's got some hey dudes.
They're fancy leather shoes.
Yeah.
Really fancy.
So high class shoes.
Think of the
Real.
prettiest girl you ever dated, Farva. Chances are her boyfriend before you had Birkenstocks.
Was she rich? 'Cause
I've
those
never,
things are like $300.
I have never dated a classy lady.
Oh, bullshit. I've seen you with a couple of Karens.
No. Well, okay.
Did they have the swoop and everything?
Uh-huh. Recently, too. Yeah.
Jesus, come on.
Okay, I know which one you're
Favre.
talking about. Now.
I need to speak to your manager.
Oh my god.
You mini truck people are entirely too loud.
That is true.
Man, that,
Actually, no, that's not her kind of people. Like, what was wrong with them?
Then she don't matter.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
what did you say, Lee?
What's that?
If they're on mini trucker, they don't matter.
No, we pulled up, and
Dude,
she wouldn't even get
I'm
out
an
and talk to
anarchist
anybody.
and a sociopath. Nobody fucking matters to me anymore.
No, Shay. We pulled up
Yeah.
in like a group of mini truckers, and she's like, "This is not my kind of people."
Oh,
Wouldn't get out
God,
and talk
you
to
didn't tell me
anybody.
she said that.
Yeah, wouldn't get out and
Fuck
talk
her.
to
You should have pushed
anybody.
her out of the car.
She said, "This isn't my kind of people."
Yeah, she pushed her
I'd
hard.
have been like, get to walking.
That's a long walk home.
No, well, I mean, yeah.
God,
You know
for
what's real bad though? Is
For the
when you're-
record, me not having headphones on is flipping me out. There's 4 of us in here tonight, and I'm the short straw. I don't have headphones on, so I don't even know how I sound right now.
You sound good.
Sound good.
You sound good.
Yeah, no
Well,
complaints.
I'm not getting the cues, though. I'm not feeling like I'm part of the conversation. It's like I'm phoning it in on a can and a string or something.
Do you want the headset back?
We did something a little bit different tonight, and we brought in somebody that was not a mini truck influence per se, but I hope that the content, was appealing.
Man,
at
there ain't
least
nothing to
some.
worry about. That was good content. I mean,
It
he's talking
was
about
different.
nude.
It was nude modeling. Yeah,
I thought it was awesome.
If you could
fucking
keep my
awesome.
ADD ass
Entertaining.
entertained, then it was pretty good.
Did it keep you decently entertained?
It did.
Well, good. If it can keep you and Jeremy.
I was actually going to
entertained,
ask him if what he did during the Union Wars, but he just kept talking about other stuff. So
I wish that had come up a little bit more because he was teaching a Morehead then though during the
Still-
'70s one. So
still, he had family back here and shit. He know
Well,
he
that's
had
true.
To,
That's
he had
true.
to at least hear about what was getting blown up and who was getting killed.
I hate that the good bar stories were after we stopped recording.
Yeah, you probably didn't want to tell those on.
Right, those probably are best not to preserve, but we enjoyed it. So it's amazing how many people have those kind of stories that you can kind of identify with.
So the question: can you be friends with somebody that actually says this ain't my kind of people? Whenever they-
We're no longer together.
Oh,
Yeah,
Shouldn't be.
she
Fuck
was.
her.
Yeah, she didn't make it much longer.
We all. Not that my opinion mattered, but none of us approved. So
I asked her. I said, "Why don't you get out and just talk to them?"
I would have still been in his
There's
wedding.
some pretty good people.
But
Yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen.
I would have totally been in his wedding, but I would have sat there and just kind of stared the whole time.
You'd have
really,
been my-
Favre?
He
What?
didn't even come to my
You're
wedding.
gonna marry you? He didn't come to mine
But
either.
you did make up for it.
He didn't come to mine either. He
I
didn't
have
come-
no excuse for not going to Shay's.
He really doesn't. He just didn't.
The
come.
original excuse was that I was going to DJ a show that day
Yeah,
on Shay's wedding,
he noticed
and planned before Shay even told me.
Shay didn't
was.
invite
But
me.
then they canceled the
I didn't
show,
know you, Favre.
and
I
I
would have invited
forgot.
you, and you would actually made Lee come.
Dude,
Yes,
I'd
he
have I'd have
does.
showed up looking good. Fuck you. It was one time.
Back to Roadhead. Gaggle reflex.
Hey, Farva's been to a wedding or 3 with me.
I have.
At least 2.
You were my +1 one time.
And you were my +1 recently.
That is true.
Yeah. Even though I was officiating the wedding, but it's still same thing.
Same principle. It's
You
custom.
just didn't come. Let's just go with it. He just don't come to weddings.
It was the only wedding I've ever been to that had a bagged Cadillac as a focal piece of the
That was
decoration.
pretty cool.
That was kind of cool, actually. I have to admit.
My buddy's banging a Cadillac.
Michael?
No, Shane.
I don't
He's
know.
got in my club.
Okay.
He's got a 60s model, I think. I don't know.
I
don't know anything about
Speaking of
Cadillacs.
bagging a vehicle, so Jeremy, I need your help.
Or really, you going to proposition him online? This
Oh,
is
yeah.
getting-
This is the best place to do it.
Yeah, I
guess,
am.
you know?
I'm that kind of asshole.
This is just getting awkward.
Wow.
So, are you bagging that extreme?
No, I'm going to bag the pizza truck.
Oh, okay.
And Jeremy's going to do it for me.
We're gonna bag both of them.
No,
Okay,
no. The
yeah.
extreme will not be touched.
The extreme will be touched.
Are you bagging it to like 20s?
No.
I've been
ZQ8s.
posting a lot of pictures here recently on Instagram. Yeah, because I don't.
Yeah,
like
you have.
fake-
You've actually been using social media. It's
I was
really
actually
weird.
shocked.
Dude, I got my shit busted for it the other day.
I still don't have
I
Instagram.
don't remember who called me out on it, but I was so bored. I drove all the way to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, which I was not a fan of, by the way. I did not like Chapel Hill whatsoever. In fact, I didn't really care for Central North Carolina. I just felt very out of place. But it was so awesome when I started getting closer on the way home. I come into a town called Old Fort, North Carolina. And it was this badass little town, decorated for Christmas still, because it was New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Decorated for Christmas still. And I just drove through the town. It was like the first time I started seeing mountains at night. So I started to feel home, because I've been on the road for, it took me 6 hours to get down there, and I've been on the road for like another 3 hours on the way back. And I was going to Pigeon Forge that night. I just went on to Pigeon Forge. So it was a 12-hour, 13-hour round trip. It was a long time. I was getting a little stir crazy. But it was pretty awesome because I seen this little town, Old Fort, and they had like this big ass monument of an arrowhead and an old train station and just really neat history stuff. So I started, bebopping down the street and taking pictures of shit and throwing them up on Instagram. And I don't remember who it was now, but somebody busted my ass. We're like, hey, look at you. You're doing social media like a teenage girl. So, yeah, I
Please
did
tell-
social media.
Please tell me you said fuck them.
No, not at all, because I thought it was kind of funny, and they were cool about it. No, it was one of our good listeners.
Oh, sorry, good listener.
Yeah, sorry, good listener. But anyway,
We only have 8.5 of them, man.
No, that's
well,
true.
it's one of the
really
8.5,
got
correct. But anyway, that being said, but it was so nice to get back in the mountains. Oh my God! But I was doing social media. But see, not that I don't care about that. Even though I did post a picture of a glass bottle of Mountain Dew with cane sugar in it in front of a grocery
I'm really
store.
jealous because those are delicious.
That was amazing, and the grocery store was cool because I really wanted a shirt.
Why didn't you bring Shay one?
Yeah, why didn't you bring Shay one?
He's sitting over there drinking a ski I brought from Western Kentucky.
I would rather have the ski. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, it's ski taste is not ski is not.
No,
good.
you don't.
No.
Ski's
No,
nasty as fuck.
I'm not a fan.
It's
fucking
not for
delicious.
me.
That does not make me feel good. I mean, I don't like the way it makes my head feel.
I've drank moonshine that's better than that.
The worst drink, soft drink I've ever had in my entire life is L8. L8 tastes like medicine you're forced to take. It's like, hey, do you like ginger ale? Do you like antibiotics? Let's combine them. How about vitamin F? Do you like the taste of vitamin F and salt? Let's throw that in there as well.
That's just think about it. The more you drink of it, the more you like it. It's
God, it made
weird.
my head hurt so bad. Steven that works with me,
Yeah.
I've got him on a constant retainer to warn me to never drink L8 again. He's like, hey Lee, you remember that time in Owsley County where you were like just a migraine the whole way home? Yeah, that's because of L8. Don't drink that. That is awful. It's like they take all the bad things. Well, of course, I don't like Central Kentucky, but they take all the bad things from Central Kentucky, like hell, bourbon backings and racehorse piss and ginger ale and marijuana, and they just combine it all in this big slurry and like, huh, it's a light one. No, God, that's just
If you
swill.
think that one's bad, you should try the cherry one. It's like they mix antibiotics, ginger ale,
Right, yeah.
and
Horse
cherry,
piss.
cherry cough syrup.
Horse piss. You got to add that in there.
Oh,
too.
horse piss. Don't forget that. Yeah.
So-
right out of
the social media
stallion.
thing, I was actually going somewhere with it a minute ago. My ADD kicked in. Talking about Favre's new extreme. I was posting a lot of show pictures here recently, and I found, and I don't know that they're interest to people, and I'm afraid of bothering people. I'm afraid that I'm like wasting their time when I post these old show pictures and stuff. But anyway, I'll throw a few up every day, and I found some from just a small show back when I was in Bonsai many, many years ago. A bunch of us had went to a show in Morehead, and it was not a mini truck show at all. But it was a big show, 150 cars, something like that. It was a beautiful location. It was at the Twin Knobs Recreation Area there on Cave Run Lake, and it's just
150 cars.
yeah, give or take.
In Morehead.
And again, it's been almost 20 years ago. But the mini presence was just unreal. And that's the thing about small shows back then that I missed so bad. You used to be able to go to any show. And let's say Eastern Kentucky, just as an example.
Yeah.
Any show in Eastern Kentucky, if it had 100 cars, I guarantee you there'll be 15 minis or sport compacts there. Guarantee it.
Oh, yeah.
And 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. That's not the case now.
No.
No.
And it's so depressing. But I'm not saying, just the bodied stuff, just the magazine quality stuff. Hell, I was so happy to see, like Farvis in his stock extreme. I was so happy to see a clean stock extreme that some kid is proud of.
That brings me to the thing. The older crowd that have the classics, they're really big onto the stock thing, and I can understand it to an extent. Like stock Ranger, all the interiors mint. I'd love that shit.
Yeah,
love
any
it.
day.
But
Well,
I
not
don't
a
want to
Ranger because who wants that kind of shit?
The thing
most of us that like vehicles that run.
The thing I loved about the pizza, or the thing I loved so much about the pink truck when I had it. You remember that pink truck? The thing I loved so much
Should've
about the
never
pink
got
truck
rid of it.
was
No,
the
it was a nice
interior.
truck.
It was just cherry. It was just perfectly clean. The air conditioning worked. The heat worked. The dash wasn't cracked. I could vacuum it and wipe it down, and it just was comfortable.
And that's a beautiful thing.
It didn't
really
smell
is.
weird. It didn't have weird noises. My feet didn't get hot from the road, which
Got rid of the best
Why
truck you
is
ever
it?
had.
Why is that?
Probably.
Why is the
Oh, I know.
Why is the floorboard on old trucks start getting really fucking hot?
because I ripped the carpet out of everything, so there's nothing
Yeah, I do
between
that
my
too.
yeah.
And that little pad that's under it too.
Should have drove the General
That's-
Lee.
That thing's always molded or some shit of that nature.
Dude, when I buy a cheap vehicle, the first thing I do is rip that carpet out because at some point something nasty has happened in that carpet.
Oh, absolutely.
It could be human or animal. We don't know.
Don't ask either.
Yeah, don't ask exactly. But there's
But you can't
some
help but question it
nastiness.
though.
What?
It's always in the back
But
of
you
your
can't help
mind.
but question it.
That's why you gotta get rid of it.
Yeah, well, good point.
That's why you gotta get rid of it.
Well, I pull it out every time, and like the pizza truck that you're buying, no carpet. The truck I
Ooh,
sold
why you got to say that for?
because it don't have any carpet.
Oh,
No.
you believe me? The guy he bought it from, you didn't want no fucking carpet.
Carl,
Yeah, Carl. Oh,
that truck was
can I,
the one.
can I,
I
seeing
got-
how you don't gonna have any more, can I tell the story about what you left me to hear on there now?
I don't care.
Okay, so he actually bought
This
that
this
truck.
show is so completely off the rails. It don't really matter.
So he bought
Well, I
that-
tried to talk about mini trucks, and as soon as I did, you cut
Well,
me
I
off
was-
with Jeremy.
Well, no, I was trying to talk about mini trucks too because I was talking about how much I missed the.
You're all cutting me off right now.
Carl, come wait, damn it! I'm
No.
going back to this lake show. But no, it was so cool back 10, 15, 20 years ago. God, that sounds awful to say. Although I've known you almost that long,
Yeah.
Jeremy. I'm pointing at you. But anyway, that many years ago, any show you went to is going to have a mini presence, and I can even break it down. Here, let me give you an example. If you went to let's say we're going to Mountainville, Kentucky, in Small Town County. Neither of those are real places, but just go with me here. And it's the Mountainville High School, hell, I don't know, archery team, car, truck, and bike show, dirt. There's going to be 100 cars, which you don't see anymore, but used to you did. There's going to be 100 vehicles. Of those vehicles, there's going to be 20 mini trucks or compacts. And I'll break it down for you. There's going to be 12 club. There's going to be one club there, a local club. It has 11 or 12 members. Let's say, no, I don't want to say Twisty Boys because that's entirely too 2020.
Yeah, it is.
Let's do something 2008 here. Let's do Psychotic Impressions.
Oh,
And
I was going to actually say psychotic.
okay, well, Psychotic Impressions,
That's
but
great.
SYKOTIKX.
Oh, yeah. It's got
Impressions with a Z, and there's probably the number 3 in there somewhere, okay? So Psychotic Impressions.
Twisty boys.
No,
That's
Twisty
way
Boys
too
is
new. Way too
2020.
new. that's what, I've
So
been
you
waiting
got-
for that club to pop up.
So you got Psychotic Impressions, SYKOTI. pi
Don't even
symbol.
try to spell it. It's
I
already
can't do it
confusing.
again. And they roll in with 11 or 12 vehicles. They have one bagged vehicle, a bunch of hammered stuff, some import stuff, a lot of stereo work, probably a lot of lights, a lot of interior work. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so you get the ideal. Then you've got 5 or 6, I'm going to say stragglers. And what I mean by that is you've got the 50-year-old man who has a 2.3 drop S10 on 14-inch wires. And it has tweed because he had tweed 10 years before that in his square body.
I would
Okay.
love that. I'm a tweed fanatic.
And you got several like that. I dig. I'm right with you. And that's-
I'm with Favre with this one.
well, in all sincerity, I think that's because you and I have been in it so long. Tweed was cool when we got in it.
I think tweed's
not-
still
see,
cool.
I don't see how tweed's ever been cool.
I
But
think
okay.
I like
tweed is
fiberglass.
nostalgia cool.
I don't
cool.
want it, but I love to look at it.
But then,
I just like
so
stock.
you got one big club, you got one big local club, and chances are you're not going to see them in any major shows. That's the other thing that always kind of puzzled me is you go to Mountainville in Small Town County, Kentucky, and you don't have, psychotic. Did I say impressions? Psychotic impressions with
thought psychotic images.
SYKOTIXQF. Anyway, psychotic
CDF.
impressions. So you got them, and you will never see them at a national show.
Yeah.
But those guys will bomb every show in that area.
But you know what? But that's the thing. We're not really in an area where people have tons of money. So driving to a show like that is and those kids you're talking about, they're probably young. I'd say early 20s.
Yeah, absolutely. The oldest one's in early 20s.
Yeah, and the youngest member is probably still in high school.
They
don't have money to drive around.
And
to
that's
big
his
shows.
only vehicle, and he is so freaking proud of that. And he shines
We've
in
all
the high
been
school
there.
parking lot.
We've all
Oh God,
been-
absolutely.
And I entered my truck stock into many a shows.
So you got the young club, you got Psychotic Impressions FX3, and then you got the stragglers. You've got the older people or the lone wolves, if you will, and then you're going to have one random superstar there, like maybe the guy from Negative.
It's usually
Camber
me.
that just has a family member and he just come in for the weekend, or somebody that just. And those are the ones, that were going to be a big inspiration to those younger guys.
Well, you also
and
have the old guy that shows up that's been in the scene so long and he's like, I just wanted to bring it out today.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah,
You'll have that one guy.
We'll put him.
I
with
have
the-
seen that in Harlan.
We'll put
I've
him
seen it
with
in Prestonsburg.
I've seen it many times in Harlan. Merlin Bradley, and
Is that the one me and you've talked about?
That is the one you and I talked about, and also that purple S10 from Benham.
I know,
or
yeah.
Lynch.
I know the
The
truck.
convertible with the overheater grill in it, the purple with the Texas tail.
Yep.
Man, anybody that makes a truck a convertible, they got balls.
That was an older guy too.
Yeah,
he was.
he
I
was-
bet 50s.
I'd say 10 years ago he was probably in his 50s.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I ain't seen that truck in probably 10 years either.
I
It
haven't
really
either.
sucks. But he cruised it once or twice there within the last 10 years. But no, that's kind of the breakdown you got. And of course, those feed off each other. The stragglers, they're cool. They provide a little advice. The one that come out of the woodwork, he's informing the new kids. The new kids are looking at him. They're looking at the superstar over there and just getting inspired and stuff. And it's an Ouroboros, man. It's snake eating its own tail. It's a continuous cycle.
Don't forget about the little asshole that knows everything, too.
There's always one of those, but chances are he drives a Cougar and it's on tri-fans. I'm basing this off somebody in Prestonburg that I met at a show at a dealership there beside Tractor Supply before Tractor Supply was there many years ago. It was some random just hybrid, and he had a
Prestonsburg?
yeah, Prestonburg, Paintsville.
Paintsville.
I'm sorry.
That's
And he had it's the same damn town to me. It's like we're talking about Morehead.
That's insulting. We're
Yeah.
better than Paintsville. We're more hipster.
Ooh.
I'm
That's
just
something to
fucking
be
with
so
you.
proud.
That's
So,
not really
so
that
like
great.
you're like Paintsville. They got raped by Whitesburg.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna give you the hipster.
When did Whitesburg become so fucking hipster? This whole street down here turned hipster all of a sudden. one day.
What's wrong, man? Don't you like watercolor tattoos and like?
It's watercolor.
No, I'm not gonna rag. He actually does some good work. Anyway, but no, man, you just don't see that kind of show breakdown anymore. Like as an example, I didn't go to any small shows last year, which really makes me feel
Well,
kind
most of them were canceled.
But the year before, I went to several, and like you'd go, and it's just a bunch of old cars, and that's fine. I'm not ragging on old cars. I'm not a huge old car fan. There are some exceptions, and I can appreciate work in anything. But I'm just as a general example, I'm just not a big old car fan. That being said, though, when there's nothing but old cars, where's the variety? Where's the inspiration? And that's what I hate seeing. So like Favre here, him buying that new Extreme, shit, man, wax that motherfucker and take it out to a show or a cruise night or something. And if somebody says shit to you, say, motherfucker, I've been in this scene for 15 years. You can suck it.
God, I haven't took anything like that in years to a show.
So what?
In high school,
would.
I'd say.
Man,
I'd rock it.
I would
I mean, I'm
love-
going to.
This
I'd love to have
year,
a stock one just drive around every day.
all I'm rocking this year is going to be a Blazer with a 2.3 drop.
Oh, I'll
And
have
that's
something
it.
bagged for mini nats.
Jeremy's looking at me like I'm
You
full of
realize
shit.
when
too.
meeting that is, right?
Yep.
Jeremy will have me something bagged for mini nats. Let me rephrase.
Jeremy, give 3 weeks in your truck, he's going to turn to Jamie fucking Kelly, man. The band's going to be shooting fire and everything.
We just need it bagged very simple.
I don't like simple stuff though.
But that's what I'm going for, though. It's the
See,
clean.
my
and
truck
simple.
was supposed to have been simple.
Yeah, that was
it was supposed to have been a
shit,
full
yeah.
out
See,
daily.
Okay, if I just bring you limited parts and limited money, then we can't go crazy.
Would you say unlimited money?
No, limited.
Oh, okay,
I
got
thought
you.
he said unlimited.
I thought he said unlimited. I heard unlimited.
No, you did not.
But
So-
you don't see that anymore, though. But I don't know why that is. Why you don't see more stock vehicles showing up anymore.
Oh, okay.
Even at local shows. If you go to
Okay.
a local show, do you see a stock?
Okay, well,
mini
think
truck?
about this for a second, though.
Very seldom.
10 years ago, how much easier was it to acquire a mini truck than it is now?
Oh my God, that wasn't full of rust. It's a lot easier.
It
back
was
then.
because
Okay,
they were
right
still
there.
they were still making Rangers all the way to 2000 and
at least 11.
yeah, 2011 was the last year.
We don't count Rangers; they're trash. We don't even count them. When we talk minis, there's only
You suck.
Rangers are not. Now, keep in mind, Farvis had bagged Rangers before.
they're trash.
What Ranger did you have again?
I don't talk about it because it's trash.
I hear you.
That being said, I'm not a big Ranger fan, but at the same time, they were the last mini left, and you got to give a lot of credit for that. And I wish they still made them, and I don't know what monstrosity they got now.
Tacoma's still
but
around. When you
don't
count
have
it,
one. There's
Tacoma went mid-size, didn't they?
well, Ranger went mid-size too. Have you
After
seen-
that 90,
You had the Colorados.
Yeah,
which
Colorado.
they went
just not a
they went
Colorado
full
fan.
size. They didn't
No.
go
Would you-
mid
what,
size.
Frontier? You can still
look,
consider Frontier.
I
mini.
gotta
Yeah,
ask, I gotta
Frontiers.
ask,
Frontier.
What is it about that S10 guys despise Colorado?
I hate Colorados.
I like Colorados.
What'd you say?
It,
I hate Colorado.
it's
I like
not
All
a
S10 guys
S10.
do.
No, I like
you know
them.
what else I hate?
Really?
Yeah, I
hate
like Colorado.
Trailblazers too for the same damn reason.
I hate a Trailblazer.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like Blazers though either.
Now you got to remember though, S10 did have a Trailblazer.
They did as a package for Blazers. Yeah,
That was actually a really good interior. I like them interiors.
Hold on,
really?
what are we
I don't
talking
know
square
that I
body
ever-
ones? We're talking
no,
about
no. This
round
one-
body.
Round body.
04, 05, the last 2 years.
Yes, they actually came with diamond stitched interior.
Oh, I forgot the
Holy
diamond
shit,
stitch.
for real?
He's
Yes.
right. Those
I don't think I've ever
I've
seen
never
one
even
those.
heard of this.
Badass.
I've
Hard to
never seen it.
find.
You know, you all are not Ford people, obviously. But
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't have headphones on. How is this 4 people working? Are we just jumping all over each
Oh,
other?
that's pretty good.
Is it?
Pretty-
Okay,
it's-
cool.
It was a good discussion because I didn't even know the Trailblazer
I didn't
edition
either.
existed. That's
They overlapped with the production Trailblazer. It was a trim package on the Blazer, but then they also made a Trailblazer for a couple of years.
so they put the interior that was in the Trailblazer into the STM.
Dude, I don't know that I've ever
No.
been inside a Trailblazer.
It was-
I don't know.
It was different.
No,
Really?
Trailblazer interior does not look anything like.
The Trailblazer S10. Two completely different species.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How many, do they not make very many of them or something?
Trailblazers only made them for a few years, didn't they?
Well, no,
Or
the
you talking about
Trailblazer S10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they only made very limited of them, as far as I know. I mean, it was like a 2-year
Wait,
difference there.
so is that more rare than a Cyclone?
Probably not.
Okay. At least I've heard of Cyclones. I've never even heard of the Trailblazer interior.
Have you heard of a Typhoon?
Yeah.
Jonathan Butler
I
had
rode
a
a
set of door
Typhoon.
panels, I think. That's the only ones I've ever seen in person.
What?
The
We went-
diamond stitched door panels.
We went to Pull Apart one year, and I could kick my ass for not buying it, but there was one down there that had the complete interior.
What is wrong?
From the door panels to the seats with their embroidered S10 Trailblazer
sucks.
on the headrest, black leather, white stitching. Beautiful.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my god, that blows.
And you could and you could have got the seats for like $25 a piece, so $50 and 2 seats, another $15-20 in door panels. But I've never had anything 98 and up. I'm a sucker
Have you
for
really
a
not?
96 and 97.
That's so funny. You're literally I used to be the same way. And then I started driving 98s and just really enjoyed a lot of the little features, you know. Well, the dashes aren't made out of paper mache and other crumbly 720 ashtray parts.
He's got a point on that
On a
one.
94 to 97 S10 dash, the upper dash, if you look at it, you can watch it
I
crack.
thought the stock S10 dash was made of metal.
It is. And they only made it in 2 years, 1959 and 1960. Right. That is a stock S10
And it
dash.
comes with that weld line down the middle.
Weld line.
You know, I actually ran my dash in the Truck of Many Colors bare metal for a while. I mean, it still had the old paint on it, but all the places we ground off and cut, I ran it like that for a long time.
You know, I have pictures of it like that, right?
Do you really? Mm-hmm. That's funny because I really...
It was ones that you had actually sent me driving down the road of it like that. Like it was like the day after it was sectioned and put
What you're
in.
talking about, Jeremy?
What? Okay, guys, I can't see anything
I can't
or hear
see it.
anything.
I think it's the interior.
Trailblazer package interior.
I
Interesting.
always like finding about these random packages that trucks came in. They had a package for a Ranger called an STX package, you know, for a round body, and they're so rare and stuff that I tried to buy just the front bumper, even a replica. Doesn't exist. There's no way to even buy any of the parts are on. But there's this old man in Whitesburg that has a red one that's in mint condition that goes to Walmart in it all the time.
Speaking of creepy old men and skitter jiggies, do you see the fucker that stopped answering the phone calls from Shannon Bullis about that Ranger GT they found him?
I just seen that.
Was this the yellow one?
Yellow one, yeah.
Yeah.
He actually
I seen the
called me.
rant where he had posted on which one.
Well, he called me, I think, Wednesday night. He's like, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, what do you need me to do? He's like, well, I've got to work Saturday, and I want this truck, and would you mind going to get it to me? And, yeah, I don't care one bit. I said, why can't you come get it Sunday? He said, well, this dude refuses to do business on the Lord's Day, and he's very adamant about
Are you
no
dead
business.
fucking? Are you serious?
No, I'm dead fucking serious.
Holy fuck, that's a stupid reason.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, then, Lord this, Lord that. Then he stopped being an adult and answering Shannon's calls and pulled the ad down. Fucking skitter jiggy. I mean, that drives me crazy.
That's a rare truck. It's a GT model.
It was, yeah. And
I
that's what
seen that he wasn't too happy about it.
No, he wasn't, because that guy was weird as shit. He didn't take, because Shannon said, I'll pay you right now, and I'll send a buddy to come get it Saturday. And hell, I would have went that night. I mean, if he'd really wanted it. But the guy was going to promise to send him some pictures in the morning and blah blah blah, and then just stopped answering the calls. Hell, I had the same thing happen to me today.
Yeah, Blazer.
Yes, hell yes. I think I've sent it to all of y'all. I may not send it to you, Jeremy, because your phone's being weird. But I was going to go look at a Blazer today in Knott County for just the motor, because all my
4.3?
random projects. Do what?
4.3.
Yeah, all round body Blazers are 4.3. But
Are
anyway, yeah, every single one of them from 95 on, they're all 4.3.
I did not
You
know
could get
that.
a 2.8 in the square bodies, but
I've
I think
seen that.
only
Best
to the-
motor ever made.
Didn't they put a
swear.
2.2 and a 95 or 96? Okay.
Never. And I got only because I got busted in that too, because I thought the same thing.
See, I was thinking they did.
So I never thought
But
that
I-
was
That thing would
four-cylinder.
never
and,
know.
and that's why I asked you.
That thing would literally not be capable of moving.
Now I give you more credit for knowing
Think about it. A 2.2? What you said?
that much weight.
I didn't think they ever put one in.
It
a
was-
Look
motor.
how much
pretty
weight
bad.
my 2.2 hauls around.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't designed for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine
that
that.
wasn't designed for it. It also wasn't designed with a stock dash and a wire tuck either, and a body drop in 20s and blah blah blah.
And a full
So-
sheet metal bed that probably takes 8 people to set off. And
Well, it does have a 59 S10 dash in it now.
So anyway, the Blazer thing. So random girl
Very
today.
good.
This Blazer was listed for 4 months on Marketplace. 4 months, and I kept seeing it come up. I'm like, cool. I'm like, I might as well send a message. Price is not that bad. So the motor and transmission are excellent, but the body's really rusty. And that was great for me because I really just wanted the motor, and I was going to just huck the rest. Well, anywho, I talked to her Thursday or Friday or something. I'm like, I'm assuming this is gone, but if it's available, I'm interested. And she wrote back, yeah, it's still available. And I said, cool. I said, I'd like to come see it as soon as possible. When's good for you? Because this weekend I've actually had a little free time. And she's like, well, how about Sunday? Sunday works for us. I'm like, that's great. I'll be there. What time? She's 1 o'clock. Great. Going after church. And anyway, I get up this morning at like 9 o'clock, something like that. I actually got to sleep in a little bit. It was nice. And I look at my phone. It's like, Charlene or whatever has pulled down the ad. I'm like, what the hell? And I messaged her. I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to be here at 1 o'clock. What's up? And she's like, oh, well, my man decided he won't keep it. And I'm sitting here thinking, this fucking rusty-ass Blazer has been online for 4 months. Somebody actually shows legitimate interest that doesn't speak broken English and type in all small letters from 20 miles away. Wants to come like sets an appointment for you. And then, magically, my man wants to keep it. It means one of two things. Either number one, the stimulus money come in.
That's what it is.
Or number two, he had a great day at Bull Creek Flea Market the day before selling Folkleys.
Or he done good. At chicken fights.
Yeah, exactly. Old Billy Ray lucked up at the Triple Cock Derby last night.
Triple cock derby.
Purdy Bill cleaned
He won a
house.
3 cock.
Triple cock derby.
I don't know. They do have 5 cocks.
There's a 5
So-
cock derby?
They are.
Is this like an orangey? I feel like this is an
Five
orange.
cock
They,
derby.
have you ever been to?
Actually, I think that's a fast food thing you can get at Bojangles. Have you? Like a 5 cock derby and some
have you
sweet
never been to
tea?
the chicken fights before?
I've been to chicken fights, yeah, but I never heard of a.
Yeah, they have a
chicken
5
fights?
cock.
I never watched it.
I could never go to chicken fight.
Dude, I like the
being-
chicken fights. I'm not
I
gonna lie
like
about
animals
it.
more than people. I
What?
just couldn't.
It's fucked up to watch.
It
you
really
only go
is.
once, and you're like, I don't want to fucking see that again.
And
I don't know. I made a lot of money.
well, a lot of people do, but I couldn't. I watched one fight, and I was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna go hang it outside. Just come and get me when we're done.
Dude, I can barely watch the bug wars on YouTube, like praying mantis versus tarantula.
I don't do some tarantulas. Fuck that.
Well,
noise.
tarantula was a bad comparison. It's like praying mantis versus
Anaconda.
murder hornet. Anaconda,
Python.
Really? Yeah. What the hell happened to the murder hornets? At what point between COVID and anarchy did the murder hornets just disappear?
What replaced
Did
it?
they ever do anything?
Nobody
They just looked
showed
at the country and
interest.
said, "Fuck this, man." We're
Nobody.
gonna-
What Jeremy said. Nobody showed interest.
Yep. If they would have been more interest, we'd still be hearing about them.
That's true.
There was no interest.
So, okay, random question, guys. Is it bad? I'd like to have been the guy in the Capitol with the horns.
I don't want you to go to jail.
You don't know I'd went to jail.
No, you'd went to
My
jail.
face would have been painted. They wouldn't know who I was.
No, they'd find you.
They'd have cost you.
But I'm just saying,
Man,
that would have been a badass
I
reason to
don't
go
want
to
to
jail.
talk about politics in this because I know every fucking buddy has heard way more than they ever want to hear about that. But I'll say one damn thing. It's a lot easier to get in the fucking Capitol than I ever would have thought.
Fucking right.
If some dude in a
Right?
goddamn fuzzy Viking helmet could just there with no shirt.
Fucking shameful how easy you can get into it. I was like,
Well, I mean-
the only thing I said when I first watched it, now we're just leave it at this. I was like, how the fuck did they get into one of the most protected places in the United States so
Yeah,
easily?
that was my thought.
I mean,
Like,
that's-
please tell me y'all have seen the meme of the guy standing in the Capitol room where they do all their stuff. It says, 2021, this guy challenges Nancy Pelosi to trial by combat.
Oh god,
I'm so sick.
celebrity death match.
I've seen more than I ever.
God, that was an awesome show.
It really was.
Yeah, they at one point was going to bring it back, but I guess it's too colorful.
Mills Lane is dead, so it's not
Oh,
the same anymore.
that's not PC.
Judge Mills Lane, the referee.
Oh, is that who that was?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I thought it was just some voice actor.
Shit,
Oh
that
my
was
God,
like
no.
one of my
Shame
favorite
on-
shows.
That was legit
Shame
Judge
on
Mills
you.
Lane. He was a
Shame on
federal
me.
judge. He's passed away now.
That's a shame. But
And he was a legit boxing referee in real life.
Well, you got to think, though, it wouldn't be PC today to have.
oh no.
No, so you could do that.
You know, I don't understand how things.
We're too woke for this.
Are peace.
Come on, guys. Let's get away from the politics. Nobody listens to us for the politics.
I'm woke.
We was
Yeah,
talking
that's-
about celebrity deathmatch.
You know, Bob changed mine and your name both to Shay Woke Mullins and Lee Woke Caudle in his phone.
Yes, he did.
That's
Yes,
pretty
he did.
cool.
Yeah,
so
we're woke now.
All right, Shay, random question, and you might be able to answer this debate we had earlier.
Yeah.
You think anybody's still listening?
No, I don't know.
We're
Fuck them if they ain't.
well, what
All
is
right,
it?
you went to All Unleashed, right?
Yeah.
What year was it they had it where the Cheddars and all that is, right there behind Shiloh's? I was saying 9 or 8, I believe, and I believe Lee was saying 9.
9, I thought, was by
Okay, guys, here's the history.
the gas station.
If I'm not mistaken, and Chris can correct me, he and I have had this argument. He thinks the first year was 07. I thought it was 08, but give the benefit of the doubt since it was his show.
Yeah.
Let's say the first year was 07.
Uh-huh.
That was a school that I got everybody kicked out
So
of.
I wasn't at that one.
You weren't at that one.
No.
The next year was where it was behind the Laurel County Tourism Building
That's the one I went to.
because that is the one behind the gas station with the McDonald's in it and across from the gravel parking lot where now Cheddar's and Buffalo Rings and Things is. But see, that was a gravel parking lot at the
Yep.
time.
Yeah.
Because I remember that big Sever
Well,
Ties wedge coming
Yep.
in, Gooch and
And
everybody.
There was one section of it that was asphalt, though. Just one little.
That
was
was
there
the-
asphalt there?
It was.
That
enough
was
probably,
over where Drop 'em was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was only enough.
No, because that was across the street.
Drop them. Yeah, we were all in the same parking lot. There may have been asphalt in the show parking lot,
Yeah, it was just. A
but it was
bit.
the other side of the little access road there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you can visualize where Cheddar's is now, that was a gravel parking lot, and to the left of that,
I wanna
if
say
you're
it's
looking out
2000.
at Cheddar's, that's where the show was.
Yep.
Hold
It
on.
was behind the
I-
Shiloh's
I
because
think
that's where
I-
It was directly behind.
that's where the
Shiloh's.
employees parked out.
That's correct. Yes.
And that's the year that I
At one
brought you
time-
muffins.
What?
So that's the same year that
muffins.
unleashes when I brought you guys
Tell the muffin
muffins.
story. Tell it. Tell it.
Tell the muffin story.
This is one of my favorite stories ever. You can leave the name out, but you got to tell the story. You
Okay.
can just make him some random mini trucker that was just a little bit different.
Okay, so I met this
a little
first
bit
year, first time I'd ever met Bob Blackburn and random mini trucker A. We'll call
Random
him.
mini truck. I like Random Mini Trucker A. Random Mini Trucker A was at the time really cool because nobody knew him, but he just showed up,
And he really was, and he was pretty hardcore.
and he had a sort of bagged S10.
Yeah, kind of.
Sort of. At
The
least
front had airbags.
the front had airbags. The back had
A nice
let's say,
bridge and
hickory.
link.
Let's say hickory.
Hickory.
Anyway,
White oak.
so some of y'all know who we're talking about now. But anyway, okay. So tell your story.
Okay, so we was trying to figure out where to stay at because hell, we was 2 hours from the house. I think Lee gave us a hotel room. So it was me, Bob, and random mini trucker A. Me and Bob decided, well, we'll just sleep together. I just met you. Okay, yeah, let's do this. I'm that kind of whore. I'm that kind of lady, so let's do it. So me and Bob wake up the next morning to random mini trucker A standing at the foot of the bed. And like I said, we just met this guy. He didn't talk to us a whole lot. It's kind of socially awkward. He was
Kinda.
He said, I brought you guys muffins. And he's standing at the foot of the bed just holding muffins. We wake up to him staring at us.
Can you imagine waking up and seeing a fleeting image at the foot of your bed, the light coming in through the cheap Venetian blinds, barely highlighting his eyes and scraggly
at the Red
beard,
Roof Inn,
and being presented with a plate of good morning muffins from Bob Evans. Hey, I got you guys some muffins.
yeah, me and Bob's kind of like
That's a weird story.
That is great. But you know
Ask
what?
Bob about it, Shay, if you think I'm lying.
Oh, I believe you.
Oh no,
100%.
that's true.
I 100%.
Because I remember both him and Bob being
Actually, I know who Random Mini Trucker A is.
yeah, you know who Random Mini Trucker
Yeah,
A is.
yeah, it's-
But anywho, you know, I'll give Random Mini Trucker A ton of credit because at a time that nobody knew who that cat was, he just showed up to several events that we advertised online. I think it was on BTR back in the Blacktop Revival days. And like we had the BTR Christmas dinner, and we look over just some tall, skinny kid with a bag truck sitting there. Like, hey, I'm such and I'm Random Mini Trucker A, you know, and I don't know you guys, but I want to see what's going on. And I think that's rad. I wish more kids would do that. I wish
That was actually
you know,
fun times.
I'm an asshole. Let's you know, tell the truth here. And I make no bones about it, and I will tell you exactly what I think of you if it's negative. But at the same time, I feel that I'm super easily approachable. And I mean, I'm old, man, at this point. If you're a kid and you want to come up and talk mini trucks with me, come up and talk mini trucks with me. Shit. I will give you what little wisdom I have to the point you probably will get sick of me talking, you know. But nobody does that anymore. And I give Random Mini Trucker A ton of credit for having the balls just to show up in a group of people that didn't know him.
Oh, I mean, after we started talking Random Mini...
back to Unleash, the gravel parking lot year by the gas station, 2010. I know this because there's a picture of me that I posted on...
That wasn't the first one there.
No, that does not sound
listen,
right.
Listen to me, guys. It didn't move once it moved from the school. There was only 2 locations ever for Unleashed, not including Manchester, because Manchester sucks.
But that was God's
a
blind
joke.
spot. We don't count that one.
It was 2009. That picture was
It
taken.
might have been. It was 08 or 09, but that being said, it never moved from that lot for its entire lifespan. The big years
It was a
were
good
right there.
placement.
I wish I could remember when I had the Silverado, because that's the year I took it to Unleashed.
I don't remember, Farf.
I don't know
I
either.
really don't. You said there was a year that Whitey was there.
Well, yeah, because we convoyed from Whitesburg.
I was in Whitey?
You was in Whitey.
Really? Okay. I don't know.
Man, convoy is the best way to travel to the shows.
You know,
Till everybody runs off and leaves you.
Yes.
I
yes,
really
because
enjoyed the drive to Revolution this year. I thought it fell apart at the end.
It
Yeah,
did.
'cause everybody
ran
ran
off
off
and
and
left
left
Yeah,
you.
because some people wanted to drive fast.
Everybody ran off and left
Dude,
me.
I was in a truck
Well, I was
that looked
bringing
like the
up
General
the
Lee.
rear.
I didn't have no choice.
Yeah.
So, you know, and at that point, I just kind of threw my hands up because it wasn't no fun. You know, everybody run off and stuff. What's the fun of that? It's supposed to be kind of low and slow, and that's fine. I mean, just a miscommunication. But I'm just doing my own thing next year. I'm not going to try.
It seems like once we left
London. Yeah.
everybody just scattered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was by myself for a while.
Were you really?
Yeah.
I think me and Tashi was by ourselves for a while.
Well,
I'd
I
say
was
a few
literally
miles.
at the end, and then randomly I had another cat eye Chevy pull up behind me, pulling a box trailer, and I'm like, you know, who in the hell's that? And that ended up being my old Sonoma frame that Jonathan Butler's uncle was building, and I thought that was funny. He just kind of fell in line.
I think I seen you in Corbin and didn't see you again until Middlesboro.
I cannot imagine pulling a box trailer with a 6.0. I mean, maybe I don't give mine enough credit, but God, that seems like a ton of weight and hassle.
I pulled a box trailer with my 5.3.
Wow.
For what? I never knew you'd have a box trailer.
I didn't. I was
Oh,
building
okay.
a gate for somebody.
Gotcha.
So I took all the wooden gate off and reinforced it with 1/4-inch steel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that was
Yeah.
fun times.
I imagine it was. It's light.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun at all. So, did this episode have a point?
No. 5.3s are tanks, though. That's the best motor ever made.
Dude, I love my
6
6
O's are
liter.
pretty tanks, too.
It's
man.
got 260,000 miles on it. It's just now starting to show a check engine light for stupid evap sensors and junk like that. And
Oh, you don't need those fucking things.
well,
anyways.
Yeah, that's
occasionally
what I
it'll go
say.
in limp mode. It'll go into the reduced engine power mode.
I hate that shit.
Dude,
I
mine
don't-
done that, and it was throttle body.
It's throwing a
I don't know
knock
why
sensor.
that's a thing.
It's throwing a knock sensor code, but we changed
That's
that knock
common.
sensor.
Did
we
you,
changed it.
Did you put a wiring harness on it?
We put a wiring harness on it, but
Okay.
what I didn't do is run a bead of silicone around it, and it says in the TSB that you have to do that because moisture or something, or condensation will false
Did you
trigger
pull
it.
the foam pads out from up underneath the intake and throw them in the garbage?
I don't remember, dude. That don't ring a bell to me at all, though.
I've always done that. Yep.
Interesting.
Because the water
Jeremy
can
would
come
know.
in
Can't go anywhere.
and it can't go anywhere. It's just kind of stuck right
You
there.
don't get enough heat in there to,
Nope.
to boil it off or anything.
So
That's
if you
interesting.
pull the foam pads out, throw them in the garbage, what water does get up under there runs right back off the back of the motor.
Well, I get that. Then I get 3 different evap, purge solenoid,
You're an
and a few
engineer.
other things. So.
Perks
Jeremy
were
would
working
know.
for GM. worked for the dealership for years.
I forgot that. I always forget you worked for dealerships.
Mm-hmm.
So. Cool deal, cool deal. No, she's getting tired, but I still love her. I just
Nah, but that motor's still tanky. You ain't gonna worry about that.
I wouldn't worry about it. My 5.3's got 300 and 301 or 303.
the blue truck. Mm-hmm. Really?
I'd hop in it and take it to California today if the front end wasn't falling out from up underneath it.
I believe my 5.3's
You never
got
did replace the
248.
shit under that.
I've replaced everything up underneath that truck 3 times, and now I just said to hell with it, and I'm doing a solid axle swap.
No, well, that'll do it.
That's exactly right.
That'll do it. That'll you won't have any more problems now.
What's it like to have money and talent?
I don't think I have either of them.
No, I'm pretty sure you got talent for sure.
Yeah, talent is no question at all. So
I think y'all smoking crack, but
So, Shay, did you see what Jeremy pulled up in tonight?
No,
the lifted
I didn't.
Toyota.
He's in a lifted Toyota.
Yeah,
It's pretty
You get,
badass.
you get nosebleed when you got that thing?
like an 89 to 95
Yeah,
on
like
33s.
I want it. That's bad.
Oh, I do too.
want it.
I love it. But it needs a small block. That truck screams for a small block.
No.
Okay, well, I'll just show my red.
I'd say we just.
Dirt.
I done told Dad we should LS swap it, and he's like, I ain't touching that truck.
Don't ruin the Toyotas.
I mean, like those old 4-cylinders like that, they don't really fuck up.
Dude.
22 REs are great. They legit.
Unless,
the
unless you
3.0
fuck with
or
them.
the-
If you start
the
fucking with
V6
them,
suck
Knocks
ass,
like
though.
a Singer sewing machine, but I think it's the timing chain guides that's actually wore out in it. But it's been like that for 2 years, and
Leave now the
Drive it
V6s in
anywhere.
them suck ass though.
what?
The V6
Oh, yeah,
them,
they're
they suck
garbage.
ass.
I heard the V6s wasn't as good a motor.
No, they're not.
The 3 liters? Or 3 were they 3s or 3.4s?
I thought they was
I thought they were 3.0.
I thought they was a 3.0.
The
That's what I was thinking they were
3.4s came
3.0s.
after that.
I think the 89 to 95 was a 3 liter, and the 95 and a half and up Tacoma was a 3.4. Because I'm thinking mine was a 3.4.
The 3.4s are fine. It's
Your
Sparky was a V6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, because they put a lot of the extended cab 4-wheel drives made them
God, I
V6s.
miss that truck every day of my life. That was an awesome.
That was another good truck. that you
We
should've
all
never
have
got
we
rid
all
of.
have our one unicorn.
Yeah, well, I've got
Lee's had several.
I've got rid of 3 or 4. You know, it's funny. The brown truck I regret none. It's the first time in my life I've sold, especially a bagged vehicle. But it's the first time
God,
in
I
my
love
life
that
I've sold a
It's not a truck.
And when I left, I just felt like just happy, just zen. It was great, and it's not changed. I'm so happy to that be gone. Well,
You didn't really have much luck though. Let's just call it what it is.
Well, it was a good truck. It
was a
drove
good truck, but-
everywhere. It's never left me stranded, which
Nope.
I can't say that about any other vehicle I own. The suspension was excellent. It rode like a dream.
It did.
I just
It drove like a dream. Period.
I was going
Like
the wrong
it-
direction with it. I was getting away from daily driver
Yeah,
status.
yeah, you was.
And I was very close to tipping just stupid money.
Yes,
you
you
know.
was.
And I just,
No, that was a full daily.
It could have been, but he was going further with it. He just
That
kept
don't
going
mean
further
nothing.
and further and further.
well, see, unlike you, Jeremy, I don't have talent. I can't go out.
There we go with that talent thing
Well,
again.
I don't have the ability to go out in a weekend and say, "Huh, I'm going to put a stock S10 dash in this weekend."
Well, I mean, you
know?
do put your stuff on Facebook, so we know you have talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy.
It's all about the
You obvious-
angles.
You all,
Well, I have made a
That's
few
a trick
pictures.
I use a
I
lot.
have made a few pictures look a lot bigger and better than they were supposed to.
you obviously work faster than anyone else I've ever seen too.
Oh, dude, you're crazy. And,
I mean,
I'm
like-
so excited to see what you're going to do for me shortly.
I think that one deserves it though.
The orange truck? I think so.
So what's the turnaround going to be for me?
Oh, my God. Y'all can do your negotiation off air.
So we're gonna bag it on 20s.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Gonna body it on 2s.
No.
Oh, my God.
No, it's
shit.
going to be on ZQ8s, and that's it.
So there's not gonna be any like tubing and everything, you know?
No.
Why not?
I don't need it.
You don't want no tubing.
I don't want it. I just want it to go up and down.
See, he's new school. All about this clean and simple.
I'm woke.
See, when I got into it, it was all about the crazy bridge work. The more tubes you could bend, the crazier it was.
You know
Yeah.
what? You're offending me by talking about me right now. I'd appreciate if you'd stop.
I'm just
I need a
saying.
safe space.
Safe space.
I've
You-
had both.
you need a crying
and
room?
I prefer the crazy tube work, but that is when I become anywhat relevant in the quote-unquote scene. you know, when I had nice trucks, it was about crazy tube work.
Mhm.
You know, the nicest trucks I've had, I think, complete-ish or close to it,
Whitey.
was Whitey,
Mhm.
which had a super elaborate baby impeller bridge. And then the pink truck, which in all sincerity, while it wasn't as crazy, it was a tube bridge. It was a ornate tube bridge, and everything was base cleared and really, really pretty and clean and stuff. But it was a very visible bridge, and I missed the bridge work.
I mean, don't
But-
get me wrong. I want that, but I just don't want it on that truck.
No, and wait, time out. So since we're bagging both your trucks, far,
Oh, no,
are you
we're not
talking
bagging
about
both
the
trucks.
extreme or the peachy
No, the
truck?
extreme will be touched.
That's what we're talking about here.
No, the extreme will never be touched.
You say that now.
No, it won't.
I shit you not. When I bought my red truck, I said I will never do. I'm not even going to lower it. I said I am literally going to hop in it and drive it for $800 truck. I'm going to drive.
That's what I'm going to
remember
do
this.
with this.
I remember this, and then I'm going to bag it under the bed, and the bed floor is bent now. I might as well body drop it.
Back halved it. And then I body dropped it because I got halfway into the back half and I was like, well, you can't back half something and not body it. So then I bodied it.
It's all about self-control, and we all know I have excellent self-control.
Oh yeah, for real.
Yeah.
You know, I've told you guys before,
So,
if I had
it's-
not body dropped the Sonoma, if it was just a bag truck, you know, without a cut cab, at this point I would have built another frame for it with a 5.6 drop. I would have put the V8 in it, and I would be done, and a nice set of wheels. I would not.
So
at
what
this
do you-
point in my life, I would not go that direction again. Now, granted, I'm going to finish it.
Technically, you could still drive that truck the way it sets with a 5.6 drop. I mean, technically, you're already 3 inches.
I'm not. I'm good.
So when
ended
do you
that
when you go back
conversation
the
real
Blazer
quick.
then?
The Blazer will never be
So
back.
you're gonna bag it after this year?
Here's what's going to likely happen with the
The
Blazer.
Blazer will be back.
Oh, I know.
No, let me
Will.
tell you what's going to happen with the Blazer, and Chris Wilson will say this. and
With a
Jeremy-
stock S10 dash.
No, let's
Yeah.
do this. No, God, no.
Yeah, it's gonna
So
be
anyway,
on.
no, it's just keeping.
First time it shows any fatigue in that dash, it's replaced.
It's like, yep, that's out. Stock one going back
There'll
in.
be like one little dip.
Oh
in
no,
it.
I have a crack about 2 inches long there. Oh, it's got to come out.
So we're not going to have everybody ganging up on me on this show ever again.
Me and,
Yeah,
me and Farva's done been at this down there at the farm
Oh,
earlier.
yeah.
They were fucking with me in front of mom and dad. Yeah, it was-
The bad part is they were getting in on it. Too.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
I
they
imagine they were.
was loving it.
literally, I'm giving both these boys parts, and my mom is feeding them, you know, and I invited them to dinner. But no, let's go rag and leave. So,
Well, I mean, your mom offered. Your mom told us we could come get everything we wanted.
She did say that. She said, get
did.
it out of here.
so
We
the
love her.
Blazer. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to lower it. I'm going to throw wheels on it. 3 months later, I'm going to miss having a pickup on bags, and I'll probably sell it. That's how my shit works. But
least
I
you
want to
admit it.
keep it through August no matter what, because I want to drive to Slamboree in Oklahoma. And I want to have something with a factory dash and air conditioning and heat, or what? Well, it's not going to need heat in August in Oklahoma, but air conditioning that's reliable, and I can drive there without a trailer and drive back because I'm just looking forward to the trip. I'm looking forward to taking something hammered on Route 66 and going through a few small towns on the way and checking out Branson.
You realize on the highway they drive 75 miles an hour, right?
That's what I hear.
You know,
I don't know
they
that.
have a minimum speed limit too, right?
I plan on taking mine to Camping Drag this year.
Are you?
Really? Me and Lee talked about
I'd like to
camping
drive
trip.
it. I ain't never been to the show.
I've never been either. I'd like to see it.
4 times, at least 3, and I think 4.
never
You
been.
You never been either?
No.
I'd like to go see it.
It's a.
You have to be invited now though.
What?
Now,
or not-
that's new.
Not like an invite. You got to be on
You
the
gotta fill out an
list.
application. You
Yeah,
gotta-
yeah.
you-
Shit, we're part of Lee Caudle's crew. You know we're going to get invites. Hell, bro, what are you talking about?
I'm afraid my 15 minutes of fame are up, guys.
Nah,
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
The,
Legends never die.
Oh my. Y'all you feel like a big man over there? Big man? Huh?
For the first time in my life, yes.
The last year I went to Camp and Drag was the last year of open attendance, and that is when all the yeet local farm boys come up there and they're whistling diesels and started doing donuts in the mud.
So are those hybrids or Skeeter Jiggies?
I think they'd be
What was that
hybrids.
you used to call them?
Oh,
Brodozers.
brodozers. Still do. They're brodozers.
But it wasn't nice stuff. It was just like, jacked up 12 valve and not nicely done. And it wasn't, Cali lean or anything like that.
Oh, I hate that.
Carolina squat?
Carolina
I hate
squad.
that shit so fucking bad. So,
What did Justin White call it? Was he Louisiana Lean or something like that?
Something like-
I don't even remember.
I don't remember either, but it was good, whatever it was.
It was good. Not as good as Justin White NASCAR White, but it was still good.
I just don't understand it. I mean, I'm all about some customization, but their headlights are pointing so far up, and you can't see anything that's below you.
They're just jealous because they want to ride Cali, but they don't have bags.
That's what it
I've
is.
thought that the entire time.
Oh, absolutely. So
God, you remember when Cali used to be a thing back in the day?
Dude, I've
now
drove-
it's just like how low can you get it and
it's
still
so
drive
funny.
it?
Back in the day, you were expected tail down, ass up, or tail down, nose up,
Mm-hmm.
and then like now that just screams, I've never had a bagged vehicle before, and I don't know what to do.
Yep.
It's such. 15 years ago, you were, that's what's up, man.
Oh,
But
yeah.
now you just look like an absolute poser.
Why did that end?
I was
To be
never,
honest
I
with
wasn't
you,
ever
I
a fan
have no
of it anyway.
clue.
I wasn't a fan of it either, but it was a big thing at one point. I just don't know what happened to it.
I used to ride like that. I ain't gonna
We all
lie.
did.
I mean, we've all done it.
And now I'm just like, how far can I get this thing?
Now they refer to it as skating.
Yep, skating.
Skating.
When you get to where you hit a bridge and it scrapes, you're too low, and you just barely hit it, and then keep going.
Skated had a totally different connotation years ago. See, skated.
That was when the wheels
Yeah.
actually cambered in, or
Not cambered, no, wide. Just
Oh,
wide.
just the wide
like
wheels.
the 15x10 reverses. That was skated back then.
Huh?
God.
Yeah, that's what they used to call skated. Now, skating, like he's talking about, a different thing, but skated back in the day, that means just wide-ass 15x10 reverses. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that was just
did
kind
not
of
know
the
that.
look. I would love to have 15x10, like Type 86s for my Blazer.
Good luck finding them.
Did I tell you I bought new wheels in North Carolina?
Yeah, do you
That's
want to sell
what-
those yet?
I do not. I don't know, maybe. We'll talk about it.
He's got
can't use
extra
them.
wheels now. He doesn't know what to do with.
I can't use them. I don't think I can run a 14-inch on that 98 nut Blazer spindle and
It
the
would be
caliper.
extremely hard.
I don't
Is
think
it-
it'll fit.
Is the caliber and
The spindle
Right.
and calipers is different than a regular S10.
how big are they?
Oh, I don't know on that one.
I'm
I ain't
gonna
owned
try- I'm
enough
gonna try 'em
Blazers.
on, but I'm not just going to hoard them. I mean, those wheels are too awesome of a find.
I
If-
think it needs some 15x10
Hey.
spokes.
That's what I mean. He talks about them all the time. I just don't know why he don't buy himself a set. You absolutely love them.
He needs wires.
I'm surprised he still ain't got the ones off the Rapist.
Oh, he said it.
He said the R word.
Oh, we can say it
Shot
now.
killer.
No, we can say it now. Jeremy, they wouldn't let me say it though.
No, we're woke here. We don't use that.
Yeah, man, it's PC culture now. We don't say the R word. It's shop killer.
Whatever happened to them wheels, though?
I don't remember is a funny thing. Did not your buddy Sean buy them?
He did, and he had them on the 53 for the longest time.
Does he still got them?
But I thought,
And then I also had a set of 13s that I sold him because they went in a bug over in Cumberland.
13's ain't gonna fit.
Randall's.
I don't know. And
Randall
I,
Crafts.
And the funny thing is, I don't even remember where the 13s came from in the first place. Maybe Alan Williams. I don't remember for sure. I mean, I don't know. God, I'm getting old. But I don't know. I'm not sure where my players went. I guess it was him on the 53. But I'm not 100% sure about that either.
I just don't know why you don't get yourself a set of spokes. It's what you really want.
I mean,
Because of
that's the only thing that's
prices.
going to make him happy.
Because the prices have went so far through the roof.
Yeah,
It's
they
just-
have.
They are
For-
ridiculous
I'm
now.
not
I
getting-
looked for him one day.
I'm not getting spoked for the same reason I didn't put vintage air and complete the interior in the brown truck. That's money much better spent on the Sonoma.
That's fair.
And
Yeah, but
I
you
can't
could
justify
you
it.
could get
Used
the
to?
spokes and then use them on the R word.
No. But I swear to God, it wouldn't take much for me to use those 14s on the R word. Get me the shop killer, damn it, my Sonoma. Let's not make the R word a thing because I don't want to have to explain it.
Okay.
It really wouldn't take much for me to use the 14s, the new 14s, the new old stock ones on the Sonoma.
Well, that screwed
How
me from
much
getting
would
them.
I get laughed at
Yep.
for having a bodied truck on 14s?
Who cares if it makes you happy? What's it matter?
Yeah, fuck them.
I mean,
Fuck them all.
that was one of the topics there on the page when I posted my quote-unquote stock dash.
What's
Chris
that?
Wilson said, do whatever makes you happy. If you want 14s on it, rock 14s on it.
Are you trying to impress anybody?
I
or
just
you
don't know
trying
if
to
you
be
would
happy?
tuck
Oh, Lord
anything.
See, exactly.
Do what?
I just don't know if you would tuck anything.
Oh, that'd be sad, wouldn't it?
That would be.
have a almost 3-inch body drop truck and not tuck any.
Oh,
wheel.
that wouldn't be sad. You could put a big balloon tire on it.
There you go. Didn't they do like a green Green with scallops, old school S10.
On torque thrust.
On it was 14s, wasn't it? Was it 14s with the big white wall tires?
So you could run them on that style, caliper and spindle and stuff.
I don't know white walls wouldn't look good.
I tell you, I
though.
found another set of drop spindles in my garage today while just digging around.
You want to sell them?
Probably not.
Hey,
Oh, well, if you ever run across a set, I need a set. Like
For what?
Horribly bad
For what?
for my show truck.
Your show truck doesn't have more.
I thought you had tubular control arms. You don't need them.
No, I took all that stuff off and put on the daily.
Okay, I got you then.
So now I got to get new stuff for the show truck.
Well,
What's it like to have money and talent?
I would just be happy with one of the two.
It's cool to think about this. You and I had this conversation last year, Shay, or when we first started the podcast. I guess technically last year, March, April, whenever, about how few bagged vehicles and just even hammered trucks in Eastern Kentucky there are.
Yeah.
There's 4 guys sitting in this room right now that either own or will own, show quality vehicles very soon.
Well, mine's not going to be show quality.
It's going to be either hammered or bagged, and you're going to go to shows in it. That makes it show quality in my books.
Yep.
And people need to get away from that stigma of, oh my God, it's only bagged. I can't take it to a show. What? In 2003, God, I would have done dirty things to people of a questionable nature just to get a bag truck at one of my shows.
Absolutely.
And that's so just taken for granted now, and I hate that.
Then we could only name like what was it, 5, 6.
We come up, I think, with 9.
We come up with 9.
I bet there's 25 or 30 or more in Eastern Kentucky right now.
Your podcast is inspired.
I would say that.
Well, I'm going to say it. Hell with it.
I don't know. Maybe there's other people, but we're just 2 jackasses on here talking about them.
Can't you just take a compliment for once?
Thank you, Fark.
You're
Did you
welcome.
say expired or inspired? Because I don't have headphones, remember?
Inspired.
Oh, I thought you said expired. Like, why are we done? I guess it is getting close to wrap-up time.
There was
so.
over 20 at that cruise that Jonathan Butler set up.
That's wild when you think about it.
Yeah.
You were at that, weren't you? That little cruising thing that Butler did, the quote-unquote H-word cruise, which I have nothing to do with, but more power to him.
We're going to do it again this year.
Yep.
I hope they do.
It's already
That's
scheduled.
awesome. I may even be there.
You was there last year.
I was. It was close. I took my boy. It was cool. It was the first mini truck thing I'd ever really taken him
That's
to.
when we
But
all
he
went
had
up on
to
the
use
mountain.
earmuffs
That was
quite a-
actually a really, really good picture.
But he had to use earmuffs quite a bit, though.
Yeah, well, it
It's
is
part
what
of
it
it.
is. It was cool though that, like you said, that picture. That's the picture in the top of the Southeast Kentucky Mini Truck Council page on Facebook,
S10 classifieds.
which has now become at Lee S10 Classifieds. Hey, bring it on, guys! I love looking at it.
Remember, only extended cabs.
Yeah, we got it's only extended cabs or blazers. I do blazers now because I'm a blazer.
There's
person.
like a billion blazers out there.
I just
don't
wish you
even
could do
need
2-door blazers, the ones that look good.
They're ugly.
No, they're not.
They're ugly. I don't like them.
No.
I had a 2-door ZR2 one time.
I loved yours. Now the ZR2 blazers are rad.
I
like
love
the
the
2-door
ZR2s.
extreme. I like
Tranny go
the
out
extreme
on it?
blazers.
Tranny go out
You don't
on it?
receive many of those.
Is that what you
I
sold
liked
it?
them though.
No,
I had
I
one in my
wanted
club
a.
I had a guy in my club.
I wanted a
once.
different truck. I wanted to be able to haul stuff, and you just couldn't haul anything with the
I guess
Blazer.
that's kind of what I get into with blazers as well. I always think I like them, and then suddenly I realize, I'm not a fan. But I do plan to put some subs in this one, which is funny. I'm going to have to turn around and sell those 8-inch scars. If I got a blazer,
It's
I'm
easy
good.
sell.
I need them.
You think?
Oh yeah, they're absolutely easy sell.
I'll give you money back.
My
There you go.
tab, your tab is so high with me.
Tax
right now.
time's almost here. I can
right.
pay you off and start a new tab.
Get your stimulus money. We'll talk about it.
That can be used to bag the Blazer.
No.
Yeah, I can do
can
the
be.
blazer. Yeah, he's right.
You guys about ready to wrap it up?
No, we're not.
No. We're starting over on this one again.
Yeah.
We're not going to bag a blazer. I have no intention of bagging a blazer. I have no interest. In fact,
Yeah, but how many times have you said I've not had any intention on doing something, and 2 months later it's happened?
of all the trucks I've owned, I bought Whitey with the intention of bagging it. That was the one truck I know for a fact I literally bought with the intention of bagging it. The pink truck, if you will recall, it was a yellow truck that I
It's already
traded
bagged.
Whitey for. And it was already bagged, but God, it was done shitty. It was just a really poor setup. And had
That's
no,
the best shop in East Tennessee.
fuck. The damn driveline vibrated, had zero lift. It was just an absolute joke. I cut that off in no time, and then Brandon Perry did the clip on it, and that was awesome. And then we painted it, and then my mom backed into it and ruined the front end. This is a trend, actually. She's also ruined like 3 beds. She really hates my trucks.
Yes, she really
And
does.
painted it again. I got it where I loved it, and I'm like, yep, time to sell it. Let's see, what I have after the pink
It's the
truck?
best truck he ever had.
I didn't have anything for several years, did I? 'Cause
That's
I bought,
when we were in our dead period with each other.
I bought a big gold dually, and that was in paint for almost 2
Uh-huh.
years. It was on paint for almost 2 years.
You had the Ford.
Well, yeah, I had the Ford because that's when we took to. But I didn't have any show trucks at that point.
Death Dozer.
Oh, I love the Death Dozer. We Farva and I outran a Pro Street 55 Chevy on I-64 I had this big red dually with a very warm 4-bolt main 350 that was built to the hilt. It was an 82 model. Red with hockey stripes and scallops. It was like all old school Mark III interior, and it was a monster. And we literally outran.
And it was
Pro
for a
Street
Christian
Bel
band.
Air. Do what?
And it would belong to a Christian band, didn't it?
It pulled a trailer for a gospel band. How cool is that?
They had stickers on the camper shell and everything.
Wow,
I
really?
forgot that. I'd actually forgot that.
It actually had a camper shell on it.
It did. It had a real old man camper with a raised up top and everything. And I sold it.
Did it
as
have
soon
the
as I
2
got it.
windows over
It
top
had,
of
dude,
it?
it had diamond plate running boards on it.
Maybe it did have diamond plate. I forgot the diamond.
How long
plate.
did you keep that thing before you got rid of it?
I kept that a while, didn't I, Favre? Almost a year.
I know for a summer for a fact.
We took it all over. I cost Favre. I think I got him fired.
You almost did. Because you wouldn't bust the window out.
No, I wasn't gonna bust a window out.
We sat there for 6 hours.
I locked the keys in the first of all, the Death Dozer was a 4-wheel drive, lifted, red, custom paint, built 350 dually.
Okay.
This is GMC dually. It was hot.
80-some
Legit.
model,
It-
square body.
It was an 82. It was hot, legit. Had an 89 Suburban front end on it, but it was an 82 model. And it ran. It was really, really warm. I also got about 8 miles a gallon, but it had like old man van interior in it. And he was telling the truth. It pulled a gospel band trailer. You know, let me come up with a good gospel band. Fuck, I don't know, the Hillsongs. Okay, so it pulled a fucking trailer for the Hillsongs gospel quartet, and Jim and the Presbyterians. There you go. So it pulled a trailer for Jim and the Presbyterians. It was a hot truck. It really was, but it had a lot of issues too. Well, anyway, we went to a show in Grayson, somewhere up in Carter County.
Oh, we was in
Kentucky.
Ashland.
Was it in Ashland?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't remember. We went up to Ashland.
That's when Kevin Gary still lived up there.
Oh, yeah. We stopped and talked to him, didn't we? Yeah, the famous pinstriper they call Taco now. But anyway, on the way back from Ashland, we stopped at a rest area, and I locked the keys in the truck. And we even had a Slim Jim, but we could not get that door popped. And we called the state police and had no luck at all, and because they wouldn't come out and fool with it. Because it was Sunday, like whoever was willing to do it, they were under.
And it was hot outside.
It was hot, and he had to go back to work that night, and we were there for several hours before we finally got a locksmith to come get
I was
it.
like,
And
dude, I will buy you a new window if you just let me bust this out.
It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. So,
I said, I will run my fist through it and we will go home.
no, we were good. I mean, just because you got propositioned by a couple of truckers is no sign that I should listen to you.
Well, I thought about it was the bad part.
Hey, man, a ride's a ride. You need to get home. So, but anyway, that being said, that was a cool truck. I sold it. Chris Wilson bought it.
I didn't know Chris Wilson bought that.
He did, and that was the Death Dozer. And
I
he
thought
ended
Chris
up
bought the
selling
brown
it.
truck.
Do what?
I thought Chris bought the brown truck.
What brown truck?
The brown one that Josh Brashears painted.
Oh, that one was, yeah. That one went to some hot rod dude out in western Kentucky, and I still kick myself. It was a one-owner dually. I bought it. It never pulled a trailer in its life. I bought it from a dealership. Chris and I changed the brakes because the brakes were shot in the parking lot at the dealership in Indiana, then drove it home. And I drove it in Lexington one whole week. I only paid $3,000 for that damn thing. I think Josh charged me $2,000 for the paint and took 2 years to do it, which is BS, man. That should never happen. If a paint shop or a custom shop ain't willing to work on it at that moment, don't take it. Don't just take a vehicle and sit at the damn corner of your shop for 6 months or a year and a half, because all you're doing is pissing people off, making enemies, and there's no justification. No matter what you say, there is no way you can justify sitting in a truck in a shop for a fucking year. Period.
No, there isn't.
None. I mean, it's fine. I'd rather you say, I can't get you in for a year. Okay. But then when you're ready to get me in, by God, take me in. I'll pay a deposit. I'll hold my place. But when it's ready to go in, by God, have it done in a month. Or whatever time frame you all agree on.
Honestly, it doesn't take that long to paint a vehicle either.
Well, anyway, so
Give
by
him
the
a good
time I
body
got
on
that
it.
truck back, Dad had already given me his Silverado. So I no longer needed a
I remember
tow truck.
that.
Guy from Western Kentucky come and bought it. It was so cool. He come in an airbag 30-foot trailer, and I'm not making this up, pulled behind a lifted Toyota 4Runner. An airbag 30-foot aluminum trailer with a freaking 4Runner pulling it. He pulled up in the driveway, looked the truck once over. Do you remember changing the brake line for me in the parking lot at work? It was like 3 weeks after that he bought it. And I said, hey, man, the brake line busted. We've not even bled the brakes since. He's like, meh. He hooked his trailer up to it, loaded the 4Runner on it, and hauled the whole damn thing home. It's a wild.
That's a pretty good idea. It really is.
Do what now?
It was a pretty good idea.
I was expecting you to say he pulled it up on the trailer and pulled off
No.
Yeah,
with the 4Runner. I was like,
I
wow.
was going to ask how the 4Runner
That would
pulled
be an
this.
8,000-pound truck. Yeah, that'd be balling. No, it was so cool. It was his daughter's 4Runner is the funniest thing. He said, I just took it, grabbed the trailer, and went. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. And then he said, he was a rod run guy. He said, I buy and sell cars at rod run, and supposedly that's what it was used for. I never heard of it since.
So you know we have
Was
Jeremy
awesome
here, and
truck.
Jeremy's got all this talent. Well, I want to ask him this question because we talked about it in the last show.
Cool, and then we probably do need to wrap up, guys.
Okay, so
Some of us have work tomorrow.
There is no
Yeah,
way
unfortunately.
people stopped listening 45 minutes ago.
So how do you feel about bagged tow pigs?
I love a bag tow pig.
But do you think you should bag one?
Yep.
Personal, yes, I would.
Do you think it's like? I mean, like me and Lee talked about it once before. We talked about reliability. Me and Favre talked about it, and it was just beautiful. So we settled on. But what do you think about the technical aspect of it? What are you going to do to make it reliable?
You can't be mechanically stupid and have that.
No, you need.
Yeah, you gotta put some time and effort into it to make it reliable. I mean, you gotta think though. You're pulling some. Well, really depending on what you're pulling.
If you're pulling a mini with it, most people bag a
you got-
dually. You're pulling a bag.
You got
mini or
Fat
what.
Fabs that pulls wedge trailers with bagged and bodied new trucks.
One of those trucks costs more than all the trucks I've ever owned and all the trucks I own in the future.
Yeah,
Talking
yeah.
about Schulman's. Talking about Dave Schulman's.
Yeah. Just they're
Was he the one
beautiful.
on the Navigator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely
Yeah, I'll never own anything that nice. But
He
I
also
think- I
has
think
crew
it's beautiful.
cut.
Yeah, you can put all my Fox bodies and
Is that him?
S10s
You didn't
together.
know that?
I didn't know he owned that.
He's
too.
got the MIC crew cut dually. He's got the Navigator, and what's the name of his Platinum? The dually itself. I'm blanking on the name. Precious Metal. Is
Yep.
that right?
Something like that.
Something
But
like
he's like
that.
a jeweler, like a high end.
Like
jeweler.
Uncut Gem
Oh.
shit?
Like, yeah, I
Oh.
guess.
Did you ever watch the movie?
No.
It's such a good movie.
Is it good?
Yeah.
What movie?
Adam Sandler.
It's Adam Sandler movie they made for Netflix.
Called Uncut Gems.
No,
I
I don't think it come out. It's on Netflix, but I don't think it come out for Netflix.
I thought it
so.
did. I thought it was one of those ones he was signed on to do.
I
No, it's
remember
one of
when
his
Adam
serious
Sandler
movies.
was funny in Waterboy.
Well, Big Daddy.
Little Nicky.
Little Nicky's
Little
his
Nicky's
best
the-
movie.
Little
Nicky
Nicky was
that's
the
when he
best
did it.
one.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
I don't know if it was the best.
It was the best.
Which-
It was the best.
There were some great parts in it, but I think Happy Gilmore. And
Now,
then
Happy
Waterboy.
Gilmore was the shit.
No,
I'll say
I
Little
like
Nicky
Happy Gilmore.
Waterboy blow Happy
Happy
Gilmore out of the way.
Gilmore, Waterboy,
No.
Little Nicky.
Nah, Little Nicky, 100%,
No.
man. I'm
Little
on-
Nicky Waterboy, and I like Billy Madison.
I love me some Billy Madison.
I would never really care for Billy Madison.
That one was okay. I'm still a little Nicky
I like
fan.
the grown
though.
up. I like the grown ups movie too. I thought they were. Funny.
I thought they were great.
I
That was-
hated the first one, but the second one was funny.
I
like
like
them
both
both
of
of
them.
them.
I like both of them because it was just like a bunch
Especially-
of comedians making fun of each other the whole
Especially
time.
David Spade falling into the lake and saying, "Oh my God, that poor old lady." I don't know why that appealed to me, but it always struck me as really funny. So.
You know, I
Then you had his first movie, or what was it, Going Overboard. Please tell me you've seen that one.
I've never even heard of it.
Me either.
Really?
Y'all get the hell
Adam
out of here.
Sandler movie.
Yes.
I've never.
Okay, fuck it. I'm leaving.
And explain.
Going Overboard.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah. So
He's on a cruise ship.
Okay.
Wasn't that called the
let's
duo?
not-
It
pull up
wasn't a
videos.
very. It wasn't a very
You had to show
high
me
end.
after we end up here because I'm lost and
I actually
we're not-
have it. I think if I
So-
find it,
I'm curious.
You
I'll
will have to
look
watch
into
the, the reason I ask you this question because I've been debating this for like 2
Like you're
years.
debating on building one, or are you just looking
Yeah, well,
for
I don't
truck
know.
porn?
I'm debating on building one. I don't know if I should buy a 4-wheel drive truck or a 2-wheel drive truck.
two will.
But if I get stuck in the mud one time, then I'm going to lose my shit and
Why would you
punch
be
a
in the
hole.
mud in a bag dually?
Because most time it shows when you park your trailer and stuff, you get the unlucky spot, which is always in the mud. It seems like
I
it's
would
always
park,
grass.
or I would unload beside the road before I would pull up.
No, I was going to say I'm not going to. If I can afford a bag dually, which means I got a damn
No,
nice
I'm-
trailer too.
I'm like a
not
poverty-
putting it in the mud.
Yeah,
Look,
exactly.
I'm
Look at
one
me.
of them.
Look at me.
at this point in my life.
Everybody knows I cheat by. I'm on
No.
the poverty version.
Like I would literally pull up in front of where they said "do not park," and I would park
Oh, yeah.
there and I would unload my shit.
And I think that's part of a show promoter's responsibility, and it's honestly one that I did not do a good job on at the H Word. there were plenty of trailer parking spaces, and we even ran shuttles 1 or 2 years from the trailer parking lots to the showgrounds.
Where was the trailer park?
God,
It was
no
when it
idea.
was over by
Campground?
the campground, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did that one year.
Didn't you do it down by the
I
pools
remember.
one year?
We did, and we did several places because there just was no parking. And Food City was such bitches about it. You know, they would cry and whine and moan and groan, even though we were literally the third biggest sales day of the year. That Saturday, they were still
Bitches.
crying, whine and moan and groan. Yeah, fuck them. I'm so glad we're not doing it anymore because I can be honest about shit like that. I don't have to be nice anymore. They were
Fuck 'em.
bitches.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Just fuck
Right
them.
now.
Fuck them.
Fuck them all.
Fuck them.
But I've considered it for a long time now, and I just don't know because
Put on a show again.
No.
I think you should do that. That's more fun to talk about.
That's more work than the dually.
But really,
I mean,
It's actually more money too.
I mean, you all did sit here and
But
play
wait a
that
minute,
entire
wait a
show
minute.
one-
Don't you
one
have to
episode.
finish the Ranger before you could build a bag dually?
I've already spent this past year around $12,000. So I ended up. So I have almost everything to do it. I just got to put it together now.
You've got more in just your stereo than what I've got in 2 trucks.
Yep.
I wish I could say that.
It's,
I'm doing the math, and I guess it's so amazing how quickly shit snowballs.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess I probably was about $9,200 in the brown truck, including the purchase price of the truck, which was $700.
How much do you have in the shop killer?
First number's a 3. No, we're just gonna leave it like that.
Now, if you count all the stuff I've gotten rid of and all that, I am way up there. But
Shay probably has more money in his Ranger over the years than I've got in the shop killer. But keep in mind that I have nothing to show for it. He does.
No.
I have a cab. I literally have a cab.
And the 59S10 dash.
I have a cab with a stock dash.
I have a
Raised
bed
floor.
off of it.
I mean, I got
I wonder how many
$6,000.
people have. Whatever happened to my fenders? Do you have any idea? Because I was looking for them the other day, and I don't know where they're at.
Jesus Christ.
I have lost or give away, which is both is entirely
The
possible.
last time I seen your fenders, they
The
were sitting
far
in
right-hand
the
corner.
cab. No, they were
They
sitting.
may be in the cab. God, I love you.
They were sitting in the cab the last
I
time I
bet
seen
you're
them,
right.
and I was in your cab today.
Yeah, but it's covered in shit now because I got all those paper tubes in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh God,
That's where they was sitting.
And then there's headliners in there too. So I bet even if they are there, you probably wouldn't have even noticed.
Yeah,
it
because I had to
unless you
actually duck
Oh,
up
you got a-
underneath the headliner to look at what
Do
I
you
wanted
have
to
like
look
a
at.
stack of headliners? Is what
just-
you're
I
saying?
do. I take good headliners out of trucks.
You should, because those are like those are also one of the most rare things ever to find as
And
headliners.
super expensive.
I need to remind Brandon Shirley that the brown truck, the truck of many colors, or whatever he calls it now, has safe light front and rear, and if that back glass is leaking, like I think it is, it needs to be replaced. And they'll do it under warranty. I think it. Yeah,
So is Brandon still in love with the brown truck?
he seems to be. He sent me some cool pictures of it. It's got cool wheels on it now. It's got a much better steering wheel than what I had.
Love the wheels on it.
I love the wheels.
That's my
I'm not
favorite
sure-
wheel.
I'm not sure about them on that truck, but I think they will grow on me.
He needs to sell me them if he ever decides to get rid of
Those
them.
are rad wheels. What are they? Did you say they were?
I think they're the
The
Vendettas.
Boyds.
Boyd Vendettas.
Gotcha.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I know
you
he'll
think
listen
people
to
that
it.
listen to
But
this podcast get tired of the fact that we just sit around and bullshit like we're not?
No,
even
I think it's our
recording?
selling factor.
I think that's the
Yeah.
best part about it.
You think it is?
I agree.
It is.
But it's always better off a microphone than what it is on
Well, like
microphone.
the Uncle Doug stories between his recording and then the 30 minutes he just hung out and bullshitted with us.
Yep.
And then by the time those were good. I can't air most of them.
Yeah.
But those were
And
good
realistically,
times.
as soon as we all leave this building, we're all going to push play on it in our vehicles and listen to it on the way home.
It's true.
This
It's true.
one,
I
I'm
used
not
to
going to
listen
try and
more.
edit. I already killed one little part that we both know about, and that's already done. So I'm going to join the two halves. And it's funny is I'm joining two halves, but there's only like 30 minutes in between them. So it's all tonight. It's just one cut.
Yeah.
But we couldn't do it seamlessly for reasons.
Good reasons.
What
too.
a nice TV.
Good reasons.
What a nice TV.
Nice TV.
WWJD. What would Josh do?
First 75-inch TV I ever seen.
Judging by that year, though, that TV had to cost like
Yeah. Wasn't my money.
more than my truck.
But anyway.
Clearly, I'm in the wrong profession then.
Clearly,
God.
you are.
Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Don't give me more reasons to cut this anymore because you know I don't like to edit anything. Okay,
way
guys,
too much work.
let's wrap it up. It's late, and Jeremy's got to work, and Farva's got to go back across the mountain.
What's
and-
work?
Something you do for like 9 days straight. way underground, and I do not envy you.
I don't either.
It's really not bad.
I'm an office person.
Fuck that. That sounds so boring.
You know what's
It
funny?
is, but yeah, I don't have to worry about
You have to drive a crazy amount of time. You have to drive a crazy amount of time. I guarantee you both beat me to work tomorrow.
I know I'll be.
Oh, I know. I gotta be there.
You get up with the chickens, though. It's bizarre.
What time you get up?
I get up at 5:30.
Nice.
But I don't have to be at work until 8.
I'm at work at.
God.
Well, I don't have to be at work.
How
At
far
7:45.
how far
I
away
get
do you
at
live
6.
from work?
Right at an hour. It's
I
an
wouldn't-
hour and 15 minutes.
I wouldn't get up till about 10 minutes till 7 then.
Normally, I'm up and I sit around and play on the phone.
That's
Facebook Marketplace. It's
Yeah,
addicting.
it is. It's the most addicting thing on there.
Drug of choice.
It really
Drug
is.
of choice.
It's dangerous.
I've been buying 3D printers off there now.
I meet up.
That's
with,
why I was late tonight. That's why you guys were here, because I ran and sold a bunch of wrenches to a guy in the parking lot of Pine Mountain Grill.
Wrenches?
Wrenches. I got tired of looking at all my mismatched wrenches tonight, so I took them all
Your
down.
mismatched
took some
wrenches?
Mismatched. I can't speak.
Were they brand name?
Pro Value.
No.
That was
No.
a CarQuest brand. They were big, they're up to 32 metric, an inch and a half, but they weren't complete. When CarQuest in town went out of business,
Yeah.
I was a young kid. I was probably early 20s or something. I thought it'd be cool to go in like buy all the wrenches, and I offered them like a big hell. I probably paid $150 at the time for every wrench they had left in stock, and they were big and shiny and chrome. But it went like 32, 30, 24. 20,
Don't you love that?
16, 16, 16,
Mine's
14.
My whole sets look like that now because I don't know where the fuck I put them.
I've got to the point. I got a nice new toolbox the other day. I've got to the point I really want to try and do some organization and getting. I'm just selling shit. I put some bags up for sale earlier. I'm just trying to get rid of everything that I can.
I just
And,
hoard everything. I have a bunch of totes.
So yeah. I
so,
sold some wrenches.
Farva, you know that there's a field down there that eventually something's going to have to go.
That is true.
Once again, you've wasted the last 2 hours.
No, we've not.
Yeah, no, we're done.
No,
Once
we're
again-
not.
Guys, I'm
We
sleepy.
will not be silenced.
I'm sleepy.
We refuse.
I will delete your Twitter account. Yeah, you're gonna have to get on Parlor now.
Damn.
Once again, you spent the last 2 hours wasted with the guys from the Lowest Common Denominator podcast, and you've listened to us talk about everything from random bar stories in Vicco, Kentucky, to a little bit of Appalachian history and reminiscing about when shows used to have some cool stock trucks, and that was socially acceptable. If you like what we do, good Lord, why? Why? Seriously, why?
Why?
Stop and question. What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life? Stop and question it.
I don't know why you even listen to us.
But
I'm
if
dead
for
serious.
some reason you do, please like us, share us out to somebody, tell a friend, tell your grandma, tell all your grandmas, subscribe to us. I don't know. Did you know we got reviews now? That's a thing.
I did
not know those existed.
You
If it
said
wasn't
that,
for the
and I went
guys-
looking for it. I can't find
If
it.
it wasn't for the guys from OLP, bless them for telling me this, I did not know that was a
I wouldn't
thing.
know either.
Those guys, Jamie from Mini Truck Cult, they have given us some great advice over the last little bit.
Oh yeah,
And
they're all great guys.
we still are terrible.
No,
I'm
we're
cool.
still the most unprofessional of all of them.
No disagreeing there.
My foot is wrapped in cables right now. If I move, I'm going to pull out everything in the damn wall.
I'm not wearing this. This is the first time I'm not wearing Crocs in here. So I mean,
Oh my God, you're not wearing Crocs?
I'm not wearing
He is not
Hell,
wearing
I'm not
Crocs.
wearing pants.
If you guys like the randomness of tonight's episode as far as bringing in a guest that is not a mini trucker but actually has some pretty cool stories, let us know. We're not going to continue to do stuff like that unless some people enjoyed it.
Yeah,
because
you hit us up and let us know if you like it or
yeah,
not.
if you like it or not, because
Yeah.
we're just trying some new things. We don't want to do the same old every time. And I realize this episode's been kind of a mess. We've had 5 people in here tonight, and it's definitely an interesting experience. There's been some talking over and stuff, but I think it went pretty good, all things considered. But seriously, guys, give us that feedback if you liked it, or if you didn't, tell us like, hey, whatever, it's just not our thing.
Yeah, tell us you want to hear more of something.
Yeah,
we're looking for it.
yeah, don't be dicks.
Yeah, don't be
because
dicks
You
about
don't
it.
have to listen.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, we don't charge y'all.
We do this for fun.
Yeah, this is don't hurt our feelings. I'm very thin skinned. So
Oh, shit.
He's
doesn't
going to
take
cry
much
into
for
a
me.
pillow tonight.
I go from one extreme to the other. I can just as easily burst out into tears in a Disney movie as I want to cut somebody's throat. It's just fucking bipolar,
Weirdly
I
accurate.
guess. Weird cat. But if you liked it, let us know. If you didn't, I don't know. Don't listen, I guess. No, seriously, let us know too, because that's how we get better. That's how we grow. And for my co-host Shay Mullins, and for our can we say occasional co-host
Yeah, I
or
guess.
semi co-host,
what
co host?
What would you call them? They're here so often.
I don't know.
Contestants.
Contestants? No.
Rookies.
JV, we're the JV
Interns.
team.
Interns?
No, we're the JV team.
Is this a podcast internship?
Yes.
God, that's really sad.
Oh, shit.
No, the JV. I like that.
Yeah, we're the JV
JV
The
team.
LCD JV team.
Oh shit!
All right, fuck it. Let's go home.
All right.
Say goodnight, Shay.
I love Colts.
Say goodnight, Jeremy.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Favre.
Jeremy, bag my truck.
He loves free labor. See y'all next time.
I reckon it looks like you've done wasted half an hour or more listening to the voice of the lowlife. You're still in the spirit. Don't fret. Them boys will be back out of their hollers in just a week or two with the next part of this fine episode. Thank you for listening to the Lowest Common Denominator podcast with your hosts, Lee and Shay. See y'all next time.